Hello, friends. Hello. Let's reset the furniture, shall we? Flipping tables in my channel. Ooh. Anyway, how you guys going? We're about to get started here. Alright, so.
Alright.
Alright.
Alright, let's look at Tyler's gear.
Let's not.
Alright, so. This is a live. I'm calling it a Q&A, as in you ask the questions and we'll try to answer it as best we can. But this is more or less a tutorial done live so that anyone looking to pick up this game, or who has picked up this game and is having a little bit of trouble, can kind of ease their way into the learning curve here. MGS2 normal is fairly lenient. It's not especially, like, ball-breakingly difficult like European Extreme can sometimes be. So I figure it's a really good starting point for learning the game and, you know, getting used to all the weird, wacky, fun shit you can manage in it. Right now, Plywood and Tyler are in the channel with me. However, sooner or later, Raichu and Scout Ponage, or as I like to call him, Scoot, will be joining up and helping out as well.
What's with these guys? It's like one of my Japanese animes.
And Tyler with the host. Thank you, buddy.
See you soon.
So, first off, let's go into the options menu here. There's a couple of options that I figure are pretty important. The rest of these, not so much. These are the radar option, which you can change before you start the game anyway, and the quick change option, which starts off as unequip, but for speedrunning purposes, you're going to want to change that over to previous. What this does is it'll ease up the menus on you, and once you learn how it works, it makes things a whole lot simpler and easier. So, past that, you're going to want a New Game Plus save, so we're going to go to load game, and I have tons of saves prepared for this thing, because I want this to be as comprehensive as I can possibly get it. So yeah, as you can see, tons of saves now. I used to have 3, now I have like 20.
Oh, you're only on 2 pages?
Yeah.
I think I had like just broken 3 pages recently.
Yeah, dude.
Pretty great.
Dude, on this PS3, I've only ever saved like 3 times, maybe 4 for European Extreme stuff.
Ugh.
But, yeah, so, New Game Plus, if you're planning on learning European Extreme, you'll want New Game Plus Plus so that the bomb on Strut D is reset to its normal New Game position, which makes things simpler. Not necessarily faster, but at least simpler. But for New Game Plus on normal is good enough. Anyway, full game, Tanker Plant, of course normal. Now, I run with the radar off, because I've just gotten really used to it, and I don't like that clutter in the top right of my screen anymore. If you feel more confident with your radar on, that's quite alright, no worries there. I just personally enjoy radar off.
Should also be something to actually note here is that the radar type won't really go into effect during the plant chapter, because you actually go to the node. So this is only for the tanker chapter, really. For for the plant, you'd have to go to the node and then turn it on in order to access the radar.
Yes.
So it's only for tanker, really.
However, I'll go into it when we actually do get into the plant portion of this. But you can turn on the radar. You can go to the nodes. It won't waste too much time. Especially for the Harrier, if you're not sure where it's going to be or where it's going to go or what its patterns are. It's like I said, it's not going to waste too much time. It's preferable that you don't, but you know, if you need it, you need it, and that's not an issue. Now,
sorry, besides boss fights, there's a radar. My bad. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
no problem. So, one of the first questions I generally get about the game, we generally get, is how to hold up the guards and hold 2. Now, I know most of you, just by normal play, will know what the controls are, you know. It's fairly standardized across the MGS franchise. So I'm not going to go into the main controls. All you'll really need to know for the speedrun is run and gun. Aiming while running. And that's achieved just by hitting the L1 button and holding it while you're pressing the square button, or if you've changed your options somehow, you know, whatever your weapon button is. Past that, I don't think there's too much else that's special. I could be wrong.
Cancel animations is kind of special, but you don't really need it for this difficulty. But I guess that can be mentioned somewhat. You get like your clock off a little bit faster by canceling the animation.
Yes. Yeah, so we're gonna go in first person, and we're just gonna take a shot. As you can see, every time Snake every time Snake Raiden shoots the M9, you have to rechamber the round into the chamber. So in order to stop that from happening, you know, take a shot, then quickly, you know, double tap your R2 button, and your weapon's ready to go again. So that's basically most of the quote-unquote advanced tech that we've got in terms of like menu management and whatnot. So, like I said, it's not too horrible.
Freeze.
Oh, that's interesting. You can actually cancel a throw animation into a door opening animation.
I've never seen that. That's pretty cool.
So, there's normally a cutscene here where, you know, it shows, hey, there's shadows in the game. And what I just did there is I ran directly past the guy. You can do that. You can press up kind of against the wall, and you can get past him that way, or you can hold him up by, you know, run and gun. Either way works. I'm just set in my ways, you know. Once you get up to deck C, there's this camera up here. On normal, this fucking thing never moves. It'll stay stationary. Yeah, it's actually way harder to skip getting past, or it's harder to get past this camera without an alert than it is on European Extreme. It's a mess. So you start out right about here after skipping that cutscene. Now, in my video tutorials, I kind of slowed the video down so that you can get a good bearing on where to roll, but you want to look about rolling right around where that rail starts there. So, what that looks like in motion, and hopefully I can nail this first try so I don't look like an idiot. So, run around the corner. Yep, figured that was gonna happen. Anyway. Let's try that again, huh? Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. So, the general line, well, hold on. Let's, I'm actually kind of unsure how to clear the alert here.
You just die, I guess. Oh, wait.
Die, buddy.
You either die or you... Damn it. There's no C4 here. I was about to say you could go up to D, but then that's weird. That's like a good way to die, though. You let the guard kill you, or you go up to D.
Don't worry, I got this. I got this. We'll use some casual strats. Kappa. Now, I'm gonna have fun menuing, because normally you don't grab that chaff. Okay, so, I can work with caution. Anyway, you start out here, and the general line you want to take is just quickly around the corner. God damn. I'm telling you, this camera is an asshole.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just starting out, it's okay just to to the wall and then mash the weapon button as you crawl, because really that only loses you like what?
It's a few seconds. It's not even that big.
It's a few seconds. And but the other end of it is if you do go for it and you miss it, it's okay. You can there is like a backup strat for the mess hall or whatever it is, the cafeteria.
Yeah.
With rolling to get damage boost cancellation of your roll and that kind of thing. You just can't really do something like this on hard or extreme because of you can't go up the stairs to the Olga fight if you're an alert.
You'll get knocked down by the invisible guards that are never up there ever.
Yeah. So you get the gist. You start here. You go around. Hey, I got it that time. Wow. But yeah, generally aiming for the start of that rail is good. Also, I'd like to mention that when I was resetting the room, quote unquote, I got the backwards trip perfectly. Completely up backwards. So normally when you come in this room, when you come in here, there's a camera cutscene. You skip. And just gonna play some. Bring around the rosy with some guards here.
Attack team, come back at once. Guard team, stay alert.
Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Okay, everything's fine. Alright, so you come in this room, there's a cutscene. Now, there's two ways of handling this. You can either just run straight through the camera, or you can do the Doberman route, which is like to just go forward, hold up the guard, and run around the table and not get caught by the camera. Either way is fine, doesn't matter. The Doberman route wastes like a second and a half or two. And I kind of just displayed the kind of backup strat for when you get caught in the deck C camera. Just punch the first guard that comes through the door and then roll through. And 9 times out of 10 you won't get knocked on your ass for it. And so we come to Olga. This is going to be your first major stumbling block. In fact, it's a major reset point for anyone starting out or, you know, has been here a while. So if she goes left like she did here, I like to stand to the left, make sure she runs to that left path. And then when she goes to the right, follow her, stand next to this crate. And I missed the loop? How did I miss the loop? Wow, my aim's awful. Anyway, that was the setup for the loop. You know, you come around to this corner, you aim for... Stop shooting me. You aim for that rack right there so she notices you. And then you just aim for headshots, and it takes 4 to kill her. Well, trank her, I guess. Now,
Yeah, you have to do a distraction shot on normal to lick her, right?
yes, on European Extreme, she'll notice you as she rounds that corner. And you gotta be really careful, because on European Extreme, it's a one-shot kill.
Snake, respond. Snake.
So...
Yeah, in some ways the loop is actually easier on extreme compared to normal because of that distraction shot you have to do.
yeah.
This fight is
Wow.
difficult in terms of like when you get used to it because it's really a scripted fight. You want the fight to be scripted and have really no dynamics to it.
Yeah.
If you get past a certain point where she goes left and you say, she says, whoever you are, you're not stopping us, then she comes back, and then she shoots the light. At that point, the fight just becomes random and a pain in the butt to complete, so you really don't ever want to get to that point.
Alright, so
Even a slow Olga fight is like what? It should only take like 10 seconds longer or something like that.
if done properly, you can finish Olga every time within like the first 2.5 minutes of the game. Also, I'd like it known that I never get left side Olgas in runs, so I've gotten it 4 times in a row here. So this is what the loop looks like, properly done. It's very... I don't want to call it inconsistent on normal, but it's more inconsistent than it would be on European Extreme, where you have that that kind of buffer where she does actually notice you on sight. Now I do want to show off the right side Olga, so bear with me while I reset. This is going to take a while since I'm on PS3. I'm not resetting all the way. I do have save set up for just this occasion, so... But it's still going to take some time as it loads miserably slowly compared to PSE. But yeah, I do want it known that left side Olgas, take them while you can, because more often than not, she's not going to go to that left side for you on a run, especially not in a race. You know, on a run, you can just hammer that reset button over and over again until you find one. In a race, that's not the case, and that's really what this tutorial is for race, because, you know, I want to get you all set up and ready to go for the tournament. Where's my Olga save? There we are. So let's see if we can actually get a right side Olga this time, huh? I would be shocked and appalled if I can't get a right side Olga, since that's what she normally gives me. There we go. Hey. So, when she goes to the right side or straight forward, just aim right around there, same spot as when you're going for the loop. Aim once there, and shoot again when she gets back there. You have to kind of lead her. Then she'll go through her first spiel. Now this is why looping is faster, so you don't get this whole cutscene business. Then I like to, well, I missed it here, but I like to lead her right around there so that she'll stay where she is instead of running all over the place, because she'll do that on you. And from there, it's kind of random where she goes for the last shot, but just stay on her, make sure your aim isn't potato like mine is sometimes. So once you get past... Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I think part of the thing about running this game, and if you want to learn it, is you have to get super comfortable with how first-person view works, especially with a fight like Olga. If you struggle with aiming, you're going to have some trouble, especially with Olga. It really tests how well you control your, well, controller.
Yeah, definitely. Now, once we get past Olga, we have our USP. This is going to be important and, in fact, necessary for getting into the engine room later on down the road. Or rather, getting through the engine room. But while we have it now, we're going to use it for a couple of distraction shots. First one happens at the bottom of these stairs. You see... wow, this camera. So, there's a few ways you can handle this camera on this return trip. You can come down the stairs and, like I did, just shoot at the wall here, and that distracts the guard, and generally you can just roll past the camera like that. There's oops.
Hold the guard and shoot the camera.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that once I can get clear. Oh man.
But I have tried a couple times, but I've had the same situation where I just failed because this camera doesn't move at all.
Yeah, so there's that one. There's also the European Extreme method where you distract them by looking up and shooting. As soon as you round the corner, you look up and shoot. Can you not? Okay. But yeah, you can round that corner, look up and shoot, and do the same kind of thing, which is about a second slower-ish than just aiming at the wall and shooting while you're running. Alternatively, as Tyler said, you can run about here, or a little bit further in, hold up the guard, and then aim up and shoot the camera, and roll through the guard, or you can shoot the guard or whatever. And then that'll get you through the room pretty quickly. I swear, Dexy has not gone well. So, geez, I'm just gonna die here, so I can show you the clean room here. And any of the mistakes that I've actually been showing off here, which I apologize for, I'm a little bit rusty. I haven't really played the game too much in the last few months. But they're not run-ending mistakes, you know. You can manage to make your way through no matter what. And, you know, it's not going to harm you too much. The main thing you want to worry about is getting kicked. That's the worst thing you could possibly get. Because it knocks you on your ass for a solid second and a half. So, let me explain the last couple of rooms. when I came into, I believe it's deck B, you know, I shot the USP as I was rounding the second corner into the large horseshoe-shaped room or hallway. And what that does is that alerts the guard further in, the one we skipped past earlier, so that he stays in place and tries to call in the alert. And then when you're passing through, shoot him and run through him. Do not roll through him. Rolling is, let's talk about that. Rolling as Snake is slow. Cartwheeling as Raiden is fast. Snake recovers very slowly from rolls. As you can see, he kind of has to take another half a second to stand back up after rolling. And his running speed is actually faster because of that. But yeah, you want to run through him and then just turn the corner as quickly as possible and get into this room. And then once you're here, you start up here. And what I did, and you don't have to do this, but this is what I found most consistent and safe, is just turn after the cutscene. And once you get around here, start your running gun. He'll auto aim towards the guard. You know, take a shot, quick swap back to it again, and then take your other shot, and that'll knock him out. Another thing I've managed to do is I've taken the shot here and then just quickly, you know, ran through. He'll be distracted enough that he stays in place right where he is, and his vision range isn't quite far enough to catch you as you're rounding this corner. As long as you take it rather sharply, like you have to go pretty much following the angle of the railing. Other things you can do include like shooting that mirror if you want, or the glass. He'll stop and investigate the crack in it. You know, find what works best for you. But going through this room, you're going to want to climb over this. And this is going to be an interesting menu. If your New Game Plus save has the digital camera in the tanker, then it's technically two inputs, down and left. Or, you know, down and right, whichever works. But you want the camera ready at this point, because this is the most natural point we can make it happen without slowing us down. Since you're going to climb over that railing, and then you're going to roll down the stairs, and then you're just going to menu over to the camera while you're rolling, so you're not wasting time with inputs. And of course I face planted, but that's fine. But the camera is going to be important for the ladder glitch, which is coming up in a little bit, once we get into the holds. So engine room. I'm going to take this really quickly because otherwise it becomes a mess. So you want to stick to the right side on that wall so that this guy gets moving immediately. Then aim as you're running down the stairs, shoot him, and roll through him. And this is going to set you up on a good cycle for the guy up at the top left, which we'll see in just a few seconds here. But you really do not want to stop ever in the engine room. See that guy up the top left there? But you don't want to stop ever. And there's two ways of taking this guy on. You can either do what I'm doing here, which is trank him and distract him, run past, so that you can alert him here and get him to call an alert, which skips that Radio Man's cutscene. Or you can run straight through him, get the alert, and do the same thing. Anyway, once you get past him, once you get into this room, you know, there's three sensors. One at the top here, up there. Then you got this one down here, and then one to the left. It's not terribly important that you shoot them quickly. It's more important that you don't hit the C4. For Deck 2 port, I use kind of a timing mechanism. Quite literally. I learned this one from Stealth Edge, who, by the way, is our resident strat finder, glitch hunter, everything. So when the announcer says time, both times, you want to ready up on the first one, and then shoot on the second one, which sets that guy up perfectly. You just take one shot, or if you're not feeling confident, you can take two shots, and it'll knock him out instantly. But either way, it'll get you through that room, you know, safely. If you use the timing method with one shot, what'll happen is he'll look around, which allows you to roll through him and knock him out that way. And as soon as I rounded the corner, or before I rounded that corner, I punched. I buffered, basically, with 3 punches. And what that does is it sets up that guy down there with the headphones. It sets him up to completely ignore us, basically. We don't run into his vision range at all. Now, I kind of want him to turn around, actually. Well, that didn't work anyway. Anyway, that's basically all you need to know for that. I'm probably going to have to take a death here. Well, maybe not. Man, these guys just won't stop coming. Anyway, you really don't want an alert in this room because opening this door becomes an issue. Anyway, coming into deck 2 starboard, this is where we'll encounter the ambush or guard rush or however you say it. It doesn't really matter. And all that really matters here is how well you aim. It doesn't matter if you kill or trank. Aim is the name of the game. Like Plywood said for Olga, this is kind of your test. Can you actually aim? And generally, the answer for me is kind of like no, as you can see here. This is a piss poor ambush. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Tyler, but there are 4 guards on rotation for the left and the back side, and 2 guards that'll stick to the right.
To be honest, I'm not even sure about this fight.
From what I was testing around,
I don't know, like, it seems like your, like, position, where, like, you are at, like, the very first, like, determines their, like, patterns, but for certain guards, and you'll be able to recognize it by their movements that they won't be able to actually, hit you, and I believe it's the guys who are going, like, across, and the guy who goes all the way to that very far back box, he can't actually hit you. I don't know if those are, like, the main 2. And the other guys can hit you, so if you ever see a guy going, like, straight across, or, like, a guy going all the way to the back box, they just can't hit you at all, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, I use a, I'm gonna take a death here so I can actually show this off properly. But I use an aid for my aiming to make sure I hit these shots, which didn't help me on this one, but we're gonna ignore that fact.
What's going on? Snake!
So I don't move at the beginning of this fight. I know some people like to, but I aim for like that kind of center portion over there, right where I've got my cursor, so that when the guards hit a specific certain point, I can fire. Generally, I've been missing that point every single time here, but you know, you can take a shot and it'll knock him out instantly. And also, be very aware of the guy on the right. He likes to troll you. If you just see his weapon pop out, you can't hit him, but he can sure hit you. And that's a big time waste that you can't do anything about.
Snake, you okay?
But I do know there's a strat where you move up with the USP, take a shot, and then deal with them accordingly. So right around there. There we go. Now you don't really want to move around from that spot, even if that right guy takes a peek at you, just so you don't miss anyone who's actually going to be running around that corner. See, this is what kind of can happen. This guy can troll you endlessly. So once you notice guards stop running around that corner, that's your cue to start getting up here. And you can kill these guards. On European Extreme, it doesn't count as kills, so it just ends the fight quicker while maintaining big boss rank. Obviously, on normal, that's less important, but, you know, ending the fight quicker in any case is more important.
Okay.
Also, did you mention about killing guards at the very end makes the cutscene come faster?
Yeah, that's actually what I was just saying.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, no problem. No worries. So, here's where we're gonna get into ladder glitch. Normally, you gotta climb down these ladders, and it's real slow. Snake is an old man, and his hips just don't work very well anymore. We're not gonna do that. I mean, you can. There's nothing wrong with it if you can't manage the glitch. But if you if you learn this glitch, it'll speed up your holds by magnitude.
Hey, it's your boy, the demonetization bot.
Hey, Scoot. Welcome to the party.
What's going on, man? Thanks. For the Nazi mod.
Actually, it's really good that you're here right now, considering you just did a whole lot of work on explaining how ladder glitch works, right?
Ladder glitch is mainly animations. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's animation imperfections.
Well, the thing about it is, you just wrote up a decent guide with inputs about how it works.
Yeah, I haven't got around to writing up a guide, but I have a video on the guide to do it. Like, well, it's basically Stealth's guide, but with slowed down with on-screen inputs.
Fair enough. So, I have seen it, but I have not actually looked at it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get it.
So, the normal way, the way that I've learned it, the way that I still do it to this day, buffer your input with a punch, equip the camera, and mount the ladder. There's a huge caveat to that, though, in that it has to happen within about half a second.
Yep.
So, really quick, just like that. Now, if you fail it, this is what it looks like. Get used to it. While you're practicing, this is what you're going to see most often than not. This is why it's recommended to have USP equipped. Now, that right there, that was an intended failure. Hopefully I can... I'm generally pretty consistent at ladder glitch, so I can show you what it's supposed to look like.
Fun fact, you can do ladder glitch with a box as well, but the results are much more hilarious.
Oh, man.
And another fun fact, you can only do the ladder glitch with a USP, with no weapon, or with a magazine. You cannot do it successfully with an M9.
So there's another good reason why you should be using the USP as you come into this room. So here's another note. You can do this bufferless. You can do it with one punch buffer, or you can do it with two punch buffer, or you can go all the way with a full combo buffer. Do what works for you. Obviously, it's fastest if you can manage to do it bufferless, like so. But do what works for you. Now let me show a buffer. And let me explain also what just happened there. So, past the first three inputs, which again have to happen within about half a second, as you're starting to climb down the ladder, you want to hold the left button either on your analog stick or the D-pad. I personally recommend D-pad because it's more accurate and you can let go of it easier. Then, as soon as you see Snake turn to the left, release that button and press X, which will cause him to vault over the thin air. And as soon as as soon as he stops animating that, you want to press up and just mash on that triangle button. All right? So, oops. Try that again. It didn't read my my camera input. So, hold left, let go X, up triangle. That'll bring you all the way down here. Now, give me a sec to get safe and I'll explain that whole thing. So, once I got off the ladder, you can actually run in front of the projector across that like little white line. Well, in the middle of those two white lines. I tranked the guy who's sitting next to the projector just for safety. You don't have to, but it allows you to get a little bit closer to him.
And it looks swaggier.
And the guy on the left side who patrols, he will always notice you on normal, since he's going to sit in that area right around where I'm looking now. And you kind of have to circle around the long way here. Oops. Well, that's fine. I get to show it off again at least.
Snake, you okay? Snake! Snake!
But, so we kind of have to take the long way around as opposed to European Extreme where you can just quickly manage it. So, in between the two white lines, trank the guy, run past, make sure you're rolling over the grates. And that's hold 1. And for hold number 2, there's a few different ways that you can manage this room. I'm going to show you the quickest version of it, which is not this. I started aiming too quickly. So the quickest version of this room, you run straight to the projector and turn it. Then what you want to do, hold 1, hold 2, run straight past, hold 3. This guy, in particular, is a huge prick. If you're not quick enough, or if you don't take a steep enough angle, he will turn around on you. Now, if you hold him up and he turns around, and you can roll to where I am now. The thing about it is, you have to turn around and take care of him, otherwise he'll spot you as you're running over here, which is a problem. So, let me try and show that one off. I've had it happen so many times in runs, it's worth a show. So, projector, hold 1, hold 2, and wait a sec, hold 3. There you go. So he's turned around. His vision cone is long enough to see you as you get over there. It's no good. So if he does turn around, just take a quick sec, turn around and trank him. It wastes a little bit of time, but it's better than being seen here. Now let me see if I can't get a Domino Strat to work.
My fucking only strat, because I can't do the whole lip strat.
Okay, so this is a much less, I find it a much less consistent strategy.
So much fun though.
It's quite a bit of fun. Well, that's not the way to do it.
Snake, what's wrong? Snake! Snake!
Also, it's worth noting that on console, this is going to generate tons of lag, especially on PS2.
Oh, yeah.
So,
it's also worth noting that in-game time is calculated by frames. The lag don't really matter.
so that was basically the gist of it. You want to roll into the guy in the corner, and then quickly as you can, with all the lag and everything going on, just roll straight through and get in through the door.
Oh, you can roll just straight into him in a line, as long as you roll again to the left.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the way I usually do it. If you line up straight, just roll straight ahead, and then you should be able to run straight left, and then roll over the grate.
Ah, yes. So there you go. That's a Domino Strat. And that's basically the two fastest ways of dealing with hold 2. Which brings us to hold 3. Now this is another important reason why we want the camera, because that's already on our, on our quick previous swap button. And this is really simple. It's taking pictures. You've done this hundreds of times in casual play, I'm sure. Except for this bit. For the last few pictures, unless you're doing two-spot method, which I'll try and show off, but I'm not. I've never used it. I've never practiced it. So That'll be interesting. But if you're using the 3-spot method, you know, front, left, middle, and then you come to right around where I'm standing, the corner of this PC, so that the camera shifts a little bit, then you aim at this circle. As you can hear, I got credit for something. Then just move straight up and take the photo of Ray. Now, aiming at that circle right there, it actually gives you credit for the Marines logo photo. It's probably because the Marines logo is pretty much right there on the other side. I don't know why it exactly counts for when you're aiming there, but it does. But I've noticed that if the camera doesn't shift to that PC kind of area, then it won't really work. Let me okay, I'm wrong.
Good.
I am a big fat liar, and you can call me as such. Yeah.
Tyler just unmutes to say that. Go straight back on mute.
Anyway, like I said, I have not done 2-spot method, so I'm a little shaky on the particulars. But it is faster than using 3-spot.
Snake, respond! Snake! Snake!
So, from what I know, you kind of want to position yourself very particularly.
Oh, fuck. I'm just gonna only more wrong.
Oh, shit.
There is a lot of pressure from
Nice,
the
Scout,
press,
nice.
especially those with submarine and air.
Find my own emo. Shit. There it is.
Not to mention interference
So-
from major players. But this
Nope.
project is vital to the Marine
Okay, I am honestly confounded as to 2-spot method, but I want to try and show it off.
Always bear that in mind.
I know it's basically you take one photo facing more or less forward, one photo facing kind of this way, and you run over here, and you do the same thing as I showed for the last one. You take it one and one. Again, I don't know the particulars. You'll have unless one of my friendly co-casters here can tell me how to do it. You can have to. Tyler, 2-spot. How do I? How do 2-spot?
How do 2-spot? Okay, so what you're gonna do is once you enter the room from the left-hand side, you're gonna immediately open the camera.
Okay.
And then, fuck, hold on, let me go look at my run. I just remember that you immediately equip the camera. Hold on. Okay, which run did I do? Two-spotting. Had to be like HD collection.
I have a daughter.
Was it in my normal run? Did I do it in my normal run?
I have a daughter.
Wait, where's the pictures? There's pictures for an SRDC, isn't there?
No, the camera right away for 2-spot. You stand on this W.
Well,
Yeah, you stand on the W.
You stand on the
You
W.
can do it.
Okay.
You can also do it by just looking at the camera so it's a little faster. I just don't see the point in going to a specific spot if you can just do it immediately.
And Stealth Edge, hello. How are you? By the way, if you ever want something to blame for all of the hard tricks in this game, there's your man. But in all seriousness, you should definitely sing his praises because he has made this game so much fun to play.
Yeah.
Here you go, Python.
Here I go. Let me take a look at this.
2-spot camera on HD collection.
Where are you sending it? Oh, on the Twitch page.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And this is without moving, so you just immediately equip the camera.
I actually need to see this because I haven't seen it without moving to the W.
Okay. Wow, that's really...
It's in Japanese, by the way, Vohayo.
Okay, so alright. I got the basic gist of it. So, from what I saw, you equip the camera, aim towards the wing, kind of like there-ish,
Yes.
and then up.
Good.
Well, you don't. Well, you want to be careful though, because one of these can easily be mistaken for another one. So, 2-spot is pretty tricky. Also, you need to overwrite all the photos, or else it's not going to count.
Good.
Oh yes, true. Now I've lost which one's which.
Best just
Let's take a photo of the floor.
Feels
let
sad,
a
man.
save. Can you let a save or?
I don't actually have a save that's not hold 1. Which wouldn't be much of an issue, but let's just take a bunch of pictures of the floor.
You must be tense. Let's do a little
So-
stretching, shall we?
Let's restart the room.
Metal Gear Ray is
So yeah, bear in mind, 2-spot camera I would not recommend to people
Metal
who are
Gear
starting
Ray
out.
is
3-spot is probably
amphibious.
what you want to do.
Unlike
Only if you're done like me and you want to do 2.
Good.
You want to do 2-spot.
cruise deep underwater.
So those two
Or
spots.
you just do me and do like you would in casual, because you don't know how to speedrun the game.
No one watch my run
Miss-
at all. No one watch my runs.
Information.
Miss a photo and then forget which photo you missed.
Targets with unerring
Oh
accuracy.
god,
I was
I've
watching.
done that too many times.
I was listening to that recently. So
Oh my god.
Yours to go.
from here, you want to kind of aim at the catwalk-ish, kind of like there, and then turn to the right.
Good.
And
At the
oh
moment,
wait, hold on.
Every
Let's see.
industrialized nation on the globe knows the specifications.
Oh, God damn it.
You want to pay attention
Worse
to
yet,
the circle
so do a number of rogue
of the
states.
camera and like where I also have an aim. You want to pay attention to that too.
Yes, yes, that is a big help.
Metal Gear is code-
So let's reset the room one more time
This
and
new
get it
model
right
of
this
Metal Gear
time,
is codenamed Ray,
so I'm not
after the
accidentally
Good job.
overwriting things.
Manta Ray. Our
It's not too bad self, yeah.
Array
It's like
has a
starting off,
sting
I
that
would
nature
suggest people
never
do
gave
2-spot
the
just
Manta.
because this can
With this
lose
latest
your
Metal
run.
Gear, we can rule the sea and land.
Especially like
we never
for like high difficulty, you have to
before.
take that like those like first 2 pictures really quickly because if you take too long, then the guy on the left is actually going to run into you and you'll get a game over. So you actually need to do this pretty quickly on the high difficulty. But on normal, you don't have to worry about anything.
So let's see if I actually got these photos.
So, any
That's the floor. That's the floor. That's the floor. That's not right. That's good though. That's a left shot. Front view. And I missed the Marines. So yeah, it's for someone just learning, definitely use 3-spot. Considering
Yeah, this is
planning to target the ship.
Oh, hold on. We're about to get intruder in the back.
I find the other 2-spot easier. Like, yeah, it's slower because you got to stand by the W, but it's like, what, 2 steps for easier shots?
Intruder in the back.
fine at 1-spot. How about a 0-spot?
0-spot camera.
We just go to the computer. It's already done.
Well, if you find the 1-spot camera, you know you have to call it the G-spot, right?
We cannot and will not give up Ray. Stay on your guard.
Anyway, now that that's over, let's do this the 3-spot method again, just to refresh your memories. 1, 2, all the way over here.
-1 spot when. -1 spot, you enter hole 3, it just instantly completes.
Did this?
good.
That didn't count.
The official reason given did not, of course, include the development
Why is that not
of Metal
counting?
Gear Rex and next generation nuclear warheads.
Because you're not far back enough. You need to be on that little black square
There it
behind
is.
you.
But
Ah,
even
yes.
you
Okay.
heard rumors that he was
Anyway.
That's visual cue for the Marines low. You guys stay on the little black square behind you. Behind you,
Gotcha.
you're a little too close.
Gotcha. Okay.
The more you know.
See that? I
If
make
you
it. I make a guide for MGS2, and I still don't know everything.
If you ever feel bad about cameras, just know that many a time that I've done the photos with the digital camera and not even realized.
No.
Many times. That was a bad habit to shake.
So that's the tanker. Actually, I should soft reset here and show you what the tanker's supposed to look like on a single pass on what would be like an average run attempt. Because I'm probably gonna get right side Olga. I'm probably gonna get spotted by that stupid fucking camera in Deck C again. You know, but we're gonna show you what it looks like on a run.
Bearing in mind now, though, if this is going to be a PB for Pytho, his tanker is going to go horribly wrong, and then he just PBs anyway. SRDC run. So, like, that's your PB run or anything. You were begging to reset. I was watching that back, and you're just like, oh yeah, can we reset, please? Is there any way we can reset? Boom, PB.
I had like 5 alerts leaving the tanker just
Oh my
just before
God.
Olga. Even before Olga, I had 5 alerts. It was great.
You tried to sneak behind that guard, you bumped him, he just turns around.
Urkbar, please.
Stares at you.
Urkbar, please. So, one thing I didn't mention is skipping cutscenes. Those text blocks, you want to press start. Cutscenes for normal, just press X. And then codex, it's triangle. Really simple. One of the biggest things about running this game is knowing where all the codecs and cutscenes are so that you can skip them effectively.
Comes with time.
Yeah. But that's what saves you the most amount of time, is just skipping all of the movie.
Yeah. Fun fact, in-game time doesn't start until the first in-game cutscene. It's not the text at the beginning.
Yeah, interesting.
I found that out the other day when I was doing like a test, and I was like, wait, why is it a 20 second discrepancy this fucking early in the game?
So I can watch. Wait, so okay, interesting.
That was very interesting that I just learned there, or that I forgot. I forgot to mention something in that first area. You do just take that damage boost. Stay far enough away so that he doesn't kick you, but you do want him to shoot you at least.
Dude, why do you do that? You
can roll into him. You can roll into him if your angle's thing enough. I've been getting that ridiculously consistently on PS2. I can't do it on PC. But on PS2, I'm just doing it every time.
Why not hold that guy up? I'm very concerned.
Why not hold that guy up? I've never held that guy up, dude.
Oh
I always hold him up just in case.
It's so spooky, dude. So spooky.
It's not spooky at all. It's easy.
It's spooky.
You just have to move quickly. Don't get hung up on any of the geometry.
Spooky geometry.
Spooky geometry. It's gonna send shivers down your spine.
Oh wow. Olga left side. Let's go.
Speaking of 20-second discrepancies, that's how far behind I am because my internet's awful.
Wow. Nice. So, fun fact, I didn't shoot the rack, but I did shoot past her nose and she got unnoticed me, so that counts as a loop.
Wait, why are you shooting Olga's rack? Kappa.
Oh, hey, plywood.
That was... I don't think that was plywood.
Oh, wait, what? Wait, that's not like plywood. Oh, God, I'm sorry. I so love you the same. Oh, I know who it is.
Me. Mario.
It was me, Dio.
Dio. That just reminded me of Kickapoo. Holy shit.
So, what I just did there is something I didn't explain in the earlier bit. I swapped to the USP as I rolled down the stairs and bonked to make all the rest of this easier. Also, don't hit the guard because the camera will see it. It's fine though.
I accidentally did that strat once, and to this day can't do it again.
Well,
yep.
for learning runners, yes, shoot the camera.
I say even just in general, I wouldn't do that.
It is ever so slightly faster as well. On your the distraction shot, off the camera, I forget what the deck's called. But if you shoot him and then don't run through him, if you roll, you can damage boost. It's ever so slightly faster.
Yes.
Or you take the same approach and you be slower about 8 seconds.
I don't go safe. This is normal. Normal's safe enough for me already. Kappa B. This is why I reset 90% of my runs.
Main difference between a speedrunner and a racer.
Roy resets on that fucking camera.
I know.
Like, he doesn't get the roll, he resets. I'm just like, why, dude? You can do it. You don't know it's time.
I've fucking got an alert on that camera so many times. It's normal for my runs now just to get an alert there.
Yes.
As long as you don't get knocked down, you're fine. Just don't get knocked down. You're okay.
I think Roy picked that shit up off me. Because I told him, because he wants to try and beat my time that's posted, and I told him, just watch what I do and
It's gonna take
copy
more
some.
than just that.
I didn't tell him to copy that. I told him to copy the sensible stuff, not the stuff. That's why, and I don't know why does he reset when I'm there?
I used to reset every time I didn't get Olga Loop. Now I can't even do Olga Loop.
That's another thing Roy does.
I used to do it so often.
Oh my god. So here's a downfall of missing the timing on the buffering there. This happens.
Time is also different on this ability compared to the others. Hack architecture is whatever reason.
Yes.
They're like quite annoying.
And I said average run, and this by far is definitely a very average run. If I don't reset, this is what it looks like.
Oh, I was doing it yesterday. I'm also working on a faster strat for pump room bomb defusal. It's very tight timing though. It's extremely tight timing. Strat a pump room.
Regardless, I can't understand.
Oh, God Rush normal. Fucking rush the shit out of them with the USP.
Yes. Or you can do.
Well, Python is on low health, so I can understand him doing it. He's on low health.
I don't understand how he stands right there and he doesn't move forward. I can't do.
I can't do it.
It's too far away. I can't see. Like.
There's also a particular visual cue on the wall to actually get those 3 headshots pretty quickly, because then it makes you go to cuts even faster.
Bless you.
That was a cute sneeze.
So I'm bleeding, coming through the holds. This is going to be interesting.
Every industrialized nation on the globe
Big
knows
blood
the
splash at the bottom of the ladder.
Worse yet, so do a number of rogue
Nick's
states.
just gonna have his fucking theory and just gonna
They are all
all release
working
at the
on
bottom.
deploying their own
See, I wanted to say that, but I'm already known for being lewd, so I'd rather not.
You're welcome.
Urethra!
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that.
We initiated development of
You
medical
couldn't just
array as a
leave that alone, could you?
Nope. Nope.
The only thing that can stand up to a
He
little
tainted his PB on PC in a tutorial.
I will taint every single fucking PB run with that comment.
Dirty bastard.
Not like this.
Dirty bastard. Also, I don't know if Python mentioned it, but if you roll, as you begin to roll into that load zone, you can actually put the camera and have it ready to go when you start.
I didn't actually know that.
If you get it successfully, it's not a big deal. It's like literally a millisecond, but you can do it, so why not?
Saves the tiniest runtime. So that just reminds me about the fucking swim glitch thing. What was it? Was between you and Izu, I think, Tyler. I can't remember which one was which. Or I think you were saying, yeah, Izu said swim glitch only takes 10 seconds. You just said, oh, I'm gonna take that 10 seconds and beat you then, or fucking something like that.
He does all these other really hard strats, and it takes maybe half a second, and it's really risky. And he doesn't do the swim glitch. I'm like, just learn the swim.
I don't think he can do it because it's really hard on PC to be fair.
Oh, it's fucking ridiculous on PC. I've done it once.
Impossible. But
It's not impossible. It's retardedly hard though.
I don't think Ashley does a lot of stuff that's sensible. I think he just does it because he's bored of the usual stuff, so he just tries to come up with new
He
stuff.
likes resetting. That's fine. He likes resetting. That's okay, I guess.
How regularly have you seen a actual run?
Some people just really enjoy resetting. Okay, I might be one of them. Why is this cutscene not skipping? Is my controller's off? What the fuck? Anyway, coming out of the tanker, there's a save prompt. You wanna be sure to you wanna watch for Ray's eyes, so you can know to ease up on the X mashing. So you don't automatically accidentally take that save prompt.
Or on PC, it's a gamble. It's a fucking gamble.
So
play the Japanese version, and then X is an enter, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, there you go. So yes,
that's the best part about PS2.
Now we're in the plant.
Yeah.
Now we're in the plant, and there's something new. Where you're playing as Raiden, and remember how I said snake rolling is Snake rolling is slow. Ride and rolling is fast.
Snake can't roll.
Cartwheeling.
Cartwheeling, yes. Yes, you're correct. My controller is probably dying.
I don't even think that's considered a cartwheel because he doesn't use his hands at any part.
Somersault?
Like a
It's
flip.
actually called a side flip.
Well, there you go now. We've just been educated.
Yeah, there we go. My controller's plugged in now. Everything's fine.
God bless.
That feel when Pytho doesn't show off. Swim glitch feels bad, man.
How are you going to show us swim glitch?
I'm not showing...
I've started doing it.
I'm not showing swim glitch on the fucking docks. I'm showing it where it's actually useful.
Hey, it is useful if you do it fast enough. It saves the tiniest amount of time.
No.
And you can actually hit the elevator load zone. If you do it right.
Wow.
Video or never happened.
It's so fucking hard to do, though. It's ridiculously hard to do.
So, starting the plant, you have to... This is the only node you're required to hit in the entire game. For the first menu, just start down twice. And for the second menu, just mash circle. There you go. Codec call directly afterward. Any red codec call you want to take as immediately as you possibly can. You can do that if it's just past a loading zone. You can hold the select button, or if you know where it's coming, just hit the select button.
Can you actually hold it, or do you have to mash it?
If you're coming through like in Arsenal gear, you can hold the button.
in really.
Yeah, or
You have to mash it.
yeah.
Really? I didn't realize that because I just say on coming back from the roof or rolls calls, I just keep mashing it.
Yeah, there's no available button input, see. So when there's an available button input,
of course, yeah. But I didn't think that it would
it.
actually register me holding the select button.
So there's multiple different ways to take out these guards, or to not take them out, as is your preference. I just take them out like that. It's real simple. Nothing you do.
Confirm, with these.
You should show off my way. It's the funnest. Just fucking stand above them, and fucking punch kick them.
Yeah, because any a throw, a punch to the dick, or a combo is gonna knock them out instantly. But that doesn't carry on throughout the rest of the game.
That's correct. Yes. So
Python threw him once, but you can't do that to anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the big thing about that is you cannot lose time there unless you're not on the elevator as soon as you possibly can be.
Or you catch an alert in the elevator.
Yeah. And what I just did there was a very, very, very small time save. I rolled into the codec call so that I'm further in than I would normally be. You see, I'm right next to the door. Normally it stops you right around here-ish.
Oh, hell yeah, people are doing that now. OP.
Oh, and actually, just like you did that roll and answer the call, if you hold X while the call is skipping, you'll actually drop and go straight into the load zone instead of standing still like an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like to do that because it looks interesting. But you can't do that with this door. The door to what's the next door? B, AB connector bridge. You can't do it with this door.
Strut B.
Yeah, you can't do it to the AB connector bridge door. If you roll and prone, it won't open. No, it just won't open. Even if you go right in front of it, it stutters and just refuses to open properly. It's like, why?
So first trip to AB bridge, really simple. Roll through the guard. That's all you need to know. Just don't miss that roll, because god damn it, I've done that so many times. It's embarrassing.
You roll into him a certain way, he goes over the fucking railings as well, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I've missed that roll, and it's embarrassing, and it costs you an alert. Not that it matters, because it clears here, but...
It's embarrassing. It's a stealth game, you're not meant to get alert.
Yes.
Played yourself.
Don't get Doberman rank, and then no one will like you. No one will like you.
Hey, I think my PB is Doberman rank.
I hardly think so. You ran out of chaff grenade before...
Let me check.
Oh, certainly not Doberman.
Nah,
Whoops!
No, because you killed the guards at guard rush. How could it be Doberman?
So
Doberman is like normal big boss essentially.
So that's
yeah.
That's not a normal save prompt that I actually hit. Normally codec save prompts are the ones that are easiest to avoid because it pops up and you just press circle and you're on your way. So that's not generally.
Because I was about to say, actually, you press X. That's because I've been playing PS2.
Yes, if you're I'm going off of HD collection rules because that's what the tournament's for.
Press whatever button is not enter.
Press the cancel button.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking circle for enter. Like.
Can I race tournament with Emma later?
No.
Kappa.
No.
Well, you could, but like you won't get very far because the PS3 emulator is a piece of shit.
It's actually not. It runs God of War 3 at 4K now. 60.
Make it less garbage, like.
Come on, that's a hard system to emulate, and it's doing really well.
So, as I've mentioned a few times now, side flipping as Raiden is much faster than normal just running, and coming up is the main reason we run New Game Plus, so we can skip this goddamn.
Anymore, you should actually time that out. Just.
Yeah, look, I've been wrong before.
I'm pretty sure like you clear a larger distance in less time. That's faster.
But yeah,
you also want to be careful with the side rolling or side flipping or whatever the hell it is, that you're not kind of trying to do it in constrained spaces, because if riding
hitting a wall is slower, you lose time.
Gets caught on geometry and things, that's slower.
Yeah, he'll stop dead if you roll anywhere in the vicinity of a wall.
Like where riding is now, between like that little, we'll call it a coffee table. Like what Python just did, he just demonstrated for me, God bless.
Yes.
But if you try and take like an angled roll into the closet to get the sensor later on, which I think Plywood is a big fan of, and you get caught on the table, that's going to be slower than just running straight there. So you kind of want to be comfortable in your movement.
Yeah,
Maybe keep it to kind of straight lines to start with, and then as you get better at movement,
like
those little.
Like if you're coming around this corner, you can actually, you can come around this corner and roll over here. Third time's the charm. Hey, Azu. Anyway.
Oh God, is it?
So anyway, I did something while you guys were talking. I was running down here and I reconfigured my menu really, really quickly, and it's real simple. While I was cartwheeling,
I didn't see it.
While I was cartwheeling, open the God damn it! While I was cartwheeling, I opened the weapon wheel. Down one, let go. Open. Down one, let go, and then re-equip the SOCOM. This is what Previous does for you. This is the kind of things.
That's why you can do it all in one roll as well.
Yes.
But don't worry too much if you can't. It's whatever.
Yeah. No. So we want the SOCOM here specifically so that we can shoot this motherfucker. Hey, he went down in one shot. Nice.
Hey, listen, look, I'm just here. You're like, yeah, that's supposed to be this one. Your route.
So there was another quick menu swap. While I was rolling, I swapped over to the coolant and then went down one to get to the chaff grenades.
And as a new person, I'd almost recommend you just keep the SOCOM out for the AB bridge in case things go a little awry.
Yes.
Because but menuing to the chaff is more optimal.
Yeah, menuing to the chaff there allows for well, it's like he said, it's more optimal because we're going to need the chaff in a couple of rooms' time.
I mean, the alternative to that will be menu to the chaff at the end of the A bridge.
Yep.
Which kind of tests your movement a bit as well.
Yep. Now, there's two ways this bridge can go. You can either knock him off or you can just roll through him. Either way works, as long as you make it to the door before that alert sounds. It's fine. Run behind that guy. Real simple. Toss a grenade right there. That distracts that guy, he looks away. And coming up is one of my favorite movement tech pieces in this game, Coolant Rising. Equip the coolant, press the X button and the R2 button at the same time, and you rise immediately.
God bless.
Yep, and
it's
so...
definitely important... Sorry, excuse me, I interrupted you. I thought you were finished talking.
No, you're fine.
Like, it's kind of important to remember that chaff grenade throw is notoriously difficult to pull off to begin with because it requires, like, quite careful throw. That you need him to look into the corner as opposed to... So he's not looking, like, directly into the corner. His peripheral vision will catch you as you go past.
Yeah. So
if you're a bit concerned, definitely just hold him up and knock him out or shoot him in the face, because behind the door I don't think the other guy can hear you.
No.
Or even on normal, if you hold him up, choke him, turn him to not be facing you, and then carry on as you would. He won't see it.
Well, I mean, with the chaff grenade up, you could just fucking roll into him. As long as you get into the pipes as fast as you can, then he's not going to see you.
If he...
Well, he can't call for backup, rather.
Well, he runs off then and calls for backup later. Do you understand?
Yeah, but if chaff grenade's up, like,
right,
I took out of the room with enough time.
He'll leave the room and call for backup before you're done.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, it's a pretty pretty rough strat to get used to. It takes some practice, but after a couple tries, you should be able to more or less get the gist of it. Also,
as well,
I don't worry about it. I do want to explain kind of what I did past the chaff strat, since you guys were explaining the chaff strat a little bit more in depth while I kept going.
Shouldn't have. We should have paused.
That's fine.
My bad.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So, using coolant rising, I was very quickly moving through the crawling section, and once I got to the clearing where the bomb is behind the I don't know what to call it, the pump, I guess.
Yeah.
I stood in a fairly specific spot as I rose from the coolant. I was in a very specific spot that allowed me to spray the bomb from behind the pump. If you're just starting out and you're not sure, go around. Otherwise, you're going to waste a lot of time sitting there looking for the spot. If you want to practice the spot and you're not good at coolant rising or what have you, what you can do is you can line up Raiden's knee, his leading knee, with the white line on the floor there, and 9 times out of 10, that'll be a good enough spot to get the bomb from behind the pump.
It's just about the middle of the pipes that you'll crawl under.
Yeah.
Give or take. It's not very hard to kind of learn where it is when you get it, you know. But try and listen really closely to make sure that you can hear the bomb freezing as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I never really learned a reference point. I just went off muscle memory. Like, still, I don't know a reference point for it. I just go until I feel is good, and it's like, all right.
Which is frankly how most of the game works. But as well, when you see Python run down that bridge, and I'm sure he'll talk about it himself in a moment, it is important to stay on that side that he ran, because otherwise that guard will see you. Because
on normal, that guard will actually take a half a second peek to the left before he turns around. Whereas on European Extreme, he doesn't do that. I don't know why.
I think the reason he sees you is that his vision is literally a cone, and you're on the wider side of that cone, taking the. Is it the left part or the right side?
The right side. You want to be on the
right
right
side. If you're on the
bridge.
right side, the wider side of his vision is catching you just enough, and that's all it needs, just a moment. But if you go down the left side, you can't see you, which is because I used to wonder, I was like, why the fuck does he keep seeing me? Like, it's stupid.
But
it took me a little while and observed that the rest of you all went the left side or the right side, whatever side, and I was like, oh, it's just because I'm a doofus.
But yeah, you want to take the right side path on that bridge, or I say path, but you want to hug that right wall, and use the chaff. That's to your second chaff point. That'll clear up your menu for this next coming bit, but you will have to pick up chaffs later on for later parts. We'll get to that when we get to that.
Pretty much as you're coming out of the strut A through that load zone, just keep mashing square, so you'll throw that chaff as soon as possible.
Yeah, and coming up is strut F. I want to talk about strut F before we even look at it, because this place can screw you up, especially on European Extreme. I know this is normal. I keep bringing up European Extreme. I know it's normal. On normal, it's not so bad. On normal, it's actually much, much, much easier and less. It's harder to fuck it up, basically. It's harder to irreparably fuck it up. On European Extreme, it's a very tight movement-based room where you have to be on the ball at all points. Whereas on normal, you can screw up here and there and you'll be fine. So, as soon as I walk in, you're going to notice I don't have any weapons equipped or anything, but my last equipped weapon was the coolant. That's important, because we're going to spray the guard in the face with the coolant, and then we're going to run directly to where the M9 is, which is on the opposite side of the hallway you're on, and then we'll go from there. But I just wanted to explain that before I even did it, because otherwise it might have gotten caught up in a bunch of other things.
And I just make a... Kaz asks a good point. It's like, how good does your bomb disposal have to be for like good times in the game? And I kind of, in my opinion, I think the answer would be like, that's like asking how good do your bosses have to be. I mean, everything has to be like relatively decent, or your run's going to be pretty shit. Or like, it's no good to have one quarter to run really good and the rest crap, or vice versa. You know,
the best thing I can say is
the bomb disposal does take up like a large part of the plant section. Like it's the first 20 minutes.
Well, yes,
of the entire run. You know, it's maybe what I want to say 10 minutes of the run. Like, and if you make a 10-minute, he's fucking trolling.
He just bamboozled all of you.
Well, it does bring up a very good point. And Raichu's right. So the thing about it is, the way I see it is, can I see 4 solids? The way I see it is, if you get your movement, if you get your movement right, or good enough at the very least, if you get your movement right and you get your bosses good, you have the basis of a really good run. All right, and the rest is just gravy. What you really want to focus on is your movement and your bosses.
Yep.
So, I've been on the pause screen for about 20 minutes now, so let's take a look at Strat F. Like I said, no weapons, but my last equip was the coolant.
New development, pause screens don't advance IGT. Feels good, man.
So, we sprayed him in the face just for a quick sec, just to hold him up. Quickly move to the M9, get that out, hold him up, shoot him, run through him, run up to the railing, climb the railing, drop down, back to the coolant, spray the bomb.
And that's how you bake a cake.
I know it's a lot of information. Why is my controller doing this? I know it's a lot of information to take in, and I did kind of just go through it really quickly, but that's kind of how you have to deal with it.
It's pretty easy to put into practice, though, in all honesty.
Yeah. So, like I said, once you get the M9, run straight to the guard, hold him up, and pump around into him. And keep moving through him. Then run to that railing, right there. Climb over it and chop down. Freeze the bomb. That'll get you to your cutscene. And then once you pass your cutscene, you want to stay up on the crates, by the way. Don't ever drop down if you can. Then just drop down on the right side. What I did was I held up the guy as he was coming around here, so that I could just clearly move across through here and go up the stairs.
But there's a lot of different strats to use in this area.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, personally, when I drop down on where the bomb is, I roll over on top of the stun grenades.
Yeah.
I'm an arsehole.
And I did pick up the stun grenades, and that's for something that we'll see later on. It's for anyone who's familiar with the game. It's for the first Tengu room after you meet up with Snake. You can use several different ways of dealing with that, and to get to that particular glitch. We'll get to that in time.
And if for whatever reason those stun grenades in particular give you trouble for whatever reason, I mean, it shouldn't, because it's normal, you can pick up a packet, Fat Man, to compensate.
Yes.
If you so chose.
Yes. That is important if you're going for a Doberman rank. Otherwise, I'll show you how the fastest version of it can go. So, EF Bridge is another big talking point. On normal, you are not timed. You can take as long as you need to do this bridge. You won't be seen by anybody except for the guy up top. Which I'm actually gonna wait a sec and deal with him so that I can actually do this properly.
You're not timed, apart from that timer that you have for him because it's the speed.
Well, yes. Yes, but
take as long as you want. It's just a speed.
The thing I mean is, you're not timed in terms of having enemies who can spot you. Like,
there's no ciphers coming. Like,
yeah, on European Extreme, the ciphers will be all over this place, and you have to move really quickly and very precisely. Now, you still have to move precisely on normal, otherwise you're going to blow yourself up, but at least you can take your time with it.
Or it could be a casual and just crawl down the middle and pick up all the claymore if you want.
Yeah,
If you're kind of nervous about it or whatever.
yeah. If you're not confident, you can absolutely just crawl straight down the middle and pick up all the claymores.
It's not with shit, but you can do it.
Anyway, so
the tricky line to like learn to begin with.
yeah. So what I did was basically the European Extreme thing. Coming through the door, there's a cutscene. You skip it. It puts you right about here. Then just roll into the codec hall as usual. Take it. Now, here's where it gets tricky. There is a claymore right there. Right where I... Goddamn controller. Are you kidding me? Right there. If you bounce off any of these corners, you will more than likely end up in a claymore. And get exploded and take an alert, and it's bad. So...
I'm trying to shoot the claymore.
Not necessarily trying to shoot the claymore, just showing where it is.
Yeah, Plywood, we already brought that up.
You're pretty good. Thank you for the follow. So, there's a specific line you can take, and I'm going to try and show it off without blowing myself up. I'm generally pretty good at this, but sometimes things happen, you know. What you really want to do is avoid the corners as well as you possibly can. You don't want to turn into the corners. Otherwise, again, you'll bounce off and end up in a claymore. So, let me just go back. Ugh, it scares me every time. Anyway. You stray forward, take the first right, first left, claymore. Oh, right, that guy's asleep. He won't alert. Anyway. So, yeah, there's a claymore right here, so you have to really quickly take this first left. Or the left, and follow the grading down. And then you can roll to the corner up into this next narrow part of the bridge. So, that's the first route. Or that's the route you kind of want to take on the first pass through this bridge. There are others that we'll be taking later on. But that'll get you to Strat E. Which is really simple. I mean, really all you're doing is hugging the right side up until you get to the helipad. And I didn't mention it, but anyone who's played this game knows that if you try to roll upstairs, you're bound to biff it.
Remember when I fucking told you about me doing arm tanker when I was ridiculously tired?
Yes.
Just thought it'd be a good idea to time save and roll up the first set of stairs.
Yeah, so you'll notice that I'm cartwheeling up the stairs. If you do it about I want to say like 5 or 6 steps before the top, you can manage it. And it saves a very minuscule amount of time, so if you don't want to risk bonking and losing time that way, then don't worry about it, just run up the stairs normally.
Like, roll down every set of stairs you come into. But
yes.
Snake's great for rolling upstairs. He's bad at rolling downstairs, whereas Raiden's great for rolling down them, but he's bad at rolling up them, so it's like... that can get a little bit confusing. Just a little bit.
So coming out of this codec call, we're going to want to move a little quickly for cycles. Just
fast.
Up the stairs, cartwheel everywhere. Then quickly kneel down, coolant. Your coolant should already be your second weapon. I just fucked up the menuing. Coolant rise, and then back down the way you came. You can pick up that box. I don't personally recommend it because there's an easier one later. In the next room, actually.
That's the one I do. I think it's faster, but because it's less out of your way.
I mean, a case can be made for either one. I just prefer to take the one in this parcel room.
Because, like, as far as the way I see it is, you kind of have to go out of your way a little bit to grab that one on the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Pretty much go past the other one. Like,
it takes longer, though.
Hmm?
It takes longer to grab the one in past room because the animation for climbing up.
Right, it takes like half a second to climb up.
Well, we had this discussion a while back about the...
I'm gonna have to time it. I'm sure the roof is faster.
Well, we've had this discussion about the Nikita room on normal, actually. Taking the European Extreme route versus taking the one I use, which is going into the side room with the gun cameras. And
you timed it though, didn't you?
I did time that one, and going into the gun camera room is actually faster, yes. But, again, a case can be made either way. do what feels more natural to you. If you do take this way, once you jump off of the sensor thing, just menu quickly. The box is one down from the sensor, which is where I usually have my equipment menu, because I don't ever change it. So that's a pretty quick and simple menu. And then just run past. You want to box as little as possible as you're running, because using the box is actually slower than running, normally. Basically, we want to use it... We do want to use it every so often for safety reasons, to avoid alerts and to avoid getting shot. So coming into Strut D, I'm taking the lower path. There is an upper path version. I'm not good at it. I haven't practiced it. So the lower path Strut D, it's pretty simple. You don't even have to cartwheel, because you're on a cycle anyway. You're coming to the far side to get this bomb. Now, my main thing about this is you do not want to spray that guard, otherwise it'll cause issues for you and have to fix it immediately, rather than letting him just pass and taking care of him as you pass by him.
This guard? In front, like the one by the bomb?
Yeah.
Well, actually, if you shoot him on approach and go behind him, you can spray the bomb and him at the same time, and by the time the bomb is finished freezing, he'll fall asleep.
Oh, that's actually a very good tip.
Yeah. Reset the room and show it. Reset it now, kill yourself.
Yeah, look, alright, I'll kill myself. You've convinced me to kill myself.
I mean...
Jack, what's going on?
Just give me the controller here so I
can... Jack!
No, you explained it well
cartwheel
enough.
through that guard.
I don't need to cartwheel through him, you're correct.
Nope.
But yeah, you explained it well enough, I got what you mean.
God bless. You sure you don't need a video or anything? And it also looks cool.
I'm just a potato. Don't worry about me. That was much too early.
This isn't happening. Jack,
Yeah.
you have to answer me.
Oh
Jack!
wait, the timer might be a little weird because
So another thing about engine room that I didn't mention when we passed through, engine room being in the tanker chapter. If you reset that room at any point, it's not going to be the same the second time around. Okay, so you have to wait for him to stop and start calling.
no, something else I did. Sorry, I've mixed myself up.
Jack, please answer
You know the guy on the top?
Uh-huh.
I stand, I shoot him quickly, keep moving, so that the two of them are asleep for me leaving, so I don't have to stop at all on the way out.
Oh
Shit, my pizza, hang on.
Try that. Just quick, like just R1 square, L1. One shot. As you're kind of by the stairs, so that you can keep moving without him. When he turns around, you're long gone, so he doesn't see you.
I can't. I apparently cannot do this.
I'm gonna show you a video because it's actually pretty cool. For other people to see, so they can see.
Right. What's
Penny
wrong?
was like, no, I'll just shoot it.
Right. Right.
Watch, I'll get banned from your shot. Post the video. Fucked up. It's just like a alternate way to do it. Either way will work quite well.
Nothing here.
I actually don't have a video, I only have a full screen.
Nah, that's fine.
They're like way different.
So whenever I get around to highlighting this whole thing, and I guess I'll put this with the normal guide on speedruns.com for completion's sake. But whatever he links me, I'll post in there too.
I'll have to like do it. I hope I have it somewhere because I don't have a capture card anymore.
Oh. Well, I mean,
I suppose I could do it on PC.
Yeah, everything you can do on PC, you can do on PS3, except for the loading times, Kappa.
Well, yeah, no, yeah.
Coming up on CD Bridge, we're gonna take a spot, but we're gonna box up immediately so he doesn't shoot us. That's basically all that you need to know for CD Bridge. It's pretty quick, pretty simple. Then we're going to go ahead into the dining room again, pick up sensor B. And we did skip this bomb earlier. So here's the point where we want to take it out, because otherwise the triggers for the next part of the game won't actually happen. And we also need sensor B, otherwise the triggers won't happen. Okay, Azu's correcting me here. You cannot do everything on PC and PS3 equally. I have a feeling this is regarding an Azu strat.
I'm quite sure I had a mini stroke there for a second. I could smell burning. Went down to check on my pizza. I put my pizza in the oven and didn't even turn the oven on.
Oh my god. Alright, so Strat B Transformer Room. The quickest and easiest way to do this is just to shoot that guy. You can do it with quick tactical reloading. You can just do... Well, if your controller is not being a pain in the ass, you can, you know, 1-shot, 2-shot, and keep moving as you do it.
You can actually, if you just run... I found this out yesterday. If you run through the room, you can fucking shoot him, and then as you get close to him, you can cartwheel into him to instantly knock him out.
Oh, there you go.
Timing's just right. Because I thought that you had to, like, quick double shot to get him down, but you don't. You can just shoot him once and just cartwheel instantly.
Well, there you go. Okay. And you may notice that I've also emptied out my SOCOM. This is for a strat that I use. It's a strat that you use on European Extreme for Fortune. Now, obviously, you don't have to do that if you're more comfortable with just boxing back and forth on Fortune, which I'll get into shortly when we get there. But, yeah, the rest of this run is towards the final bomb is pretty straightforward.
Did you know you can bypass the lag on Fortune for consoles by looking at the floor?
I did, in fact, know that, yes. And now everyone else does, too.
Not that it matters, because IGT, etc. Just gives you less of a discrepancy in RTA.
Yeah. Yeah, the way I used to do Fortune was I would just sit behind the back crates and stare longingly into the wall.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I do on PS2. Oh, I may be getting another PS3 as well, so y'all can watch out for the worst HD collection run you're gonna see.
So, I want to talk about this really quickly. This is a little bit of a point of contention between me and a couple of other guys. I think one or two of them are in the call with me actually at the moment. But there's two paths you can use to get to this final bomb. You can do what I do, which is to somersault over this railing and go to that diving platform right there and spray the bomb from there. Or you can come all the way around, kneel down, and spray the bomb from here. I personally believe that the railing is just a tiny bit faster, even though you're climbing over the bars and everything. But many people will tell you that this is the faster way. Really, honestly, do what feels right to you.
Yeah. The main thing. Like, if it was a time save going over the railing, it would be ever so slight. It's not worth fucking arguing over.
Yeah,
I mean, why argue when you can just use a fucking lifespan timer and test it? Like,
yeah, no,
yeah.
That's the thing, is that I am very lazy and I don't test my strats very well. I just do it. I just do it.
But you know, like, if there's any kind of contention, if somebody's going to argue the point, which is, you know, that's actually slower, well, prove it then.
Oh yeah, if there was like a big fucking argument over it or something, I mean, I'd like, then go and prove it.
Even if you're correct and that there's a doubt, let's just say, just pull out a timer and check.
So,
no testing this game is kind of a nightmare. Like this, the aforementioned PS3 emos, PS3 emo, piece of shit. But,
so this strat that I'm using right now is my normal strat. It's using iframes from the pop out and shoot animation. but it's what I use normally. It's just using the iframes from popping out and shooting. That's what you kind of have to do on European Extreme. However, there's another way. There's a couple of ways on normal. You can just kind of cheese this fight without taking any damage. One is what I'm doing right now, just running back and forth with the box.
No, really fun way to do it on normal.
What's that, Raichu?
Stand at the left side, and once you destroy the top boxes, when you hear a shot coming, crouch.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Stand up again. Once you hear it coming, crouch. It'll go right over Raiden's head.
So, if you're using the pop out and shoot method, you want to be really careful about when that elevator cutscene happens, because when that cutscene happens, you still have control of Raiden. So if he's popped out of cover, it'll actually pop him completely out of being backed up against the wall, and he'll run rampant across the room, and that's not good. But anyway, once you receive the Colonel's call after she flips out, that's the end of the fight, and that's about that.
That feel when the only way to skip Fortune is to skip Shell 1. Feels bad, man.
So, the run towards Fat Man. Again, I'm going to go back to European Extreme because it's important to note. On European Extreme, you don't want to take any damage at all. On normal, not so big of a deal. I know for a fact that I take more damage on this run than anywhere else in the game, specifically because of the one claymore I'm about to try and run past here. On your third trip to the Strut A roof, on the right side there's going to be a claymore facing the door. And it is painful to try and run past without blowing yourself up.
What? No, it's not. The fuck? You can't press up against the things. You can just hold the stick all the way up. You actually can't press against that part of the wall.
All right, I'm gonna try that out because let's face it, every time I come through this section,
Did you say nerd? Not nerd.
Your boy Apples! No. Holy shit, thank you for the sub.
Oh, hell yeah. Well done, Apples. Feels good, man.
But as I was saying, every time I come through this section, I always get hit by that claymore. So I'm going to try this out. I'm going to try coming through the door holding straight up. Holy shit. But now I need the chaff. Oh, no. Okay, see. That's what gets me every time, is getting the chaff grenades.
Oh, the chaffs, you can actually trigger the claymore without getting damaged by it. You got to do a circle at a certain time. It's weird. I only know it by muscle memory. I don't know any things for it. I think it's early, but you can circle just before. So if I was to give a reference, the shadow, the gap in the shadow.
Oh, yeah. Actually, never mind.
So yeah, ignoring that second claymore hit that I took, the rest of this is really simple. You know, box to avoid the guard shooting you, whatever. We're gonna box again shortly here. As soon as we enter Strut F, we're just gonna run in front of this guy, box, unbox, tactical reload, get all the way through.
It's important to mention though that the only weapon you have equipped at the minute on previous or otherwise is the M9, so you can do this tactical reload a bit easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Without accidentally shooting them with a cell phone.
And on your return trips to the EF bridge, it's actually made so much easier by the box, since you can't actually bounce off those corners with the box equipped.
God bless the corners. God bless how this game is.
That warehouse the hardest so far.
Your boy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
your most recent sub.
Yeah, thanks, man.
9 minutes of chat. What did you say you found for Apple? The Strut F? Or
the one where you've got the first time you pass it, you use the coolant to get the M9, and then you.
Oh, that's pretty tricky, but it's just like if there's anything in this game you find a little difficult, like the best thing to do is just keep practicing it.
Yes,
over and
absolutely.
over again, and then
Yeah.
you get good.
Yeah.
Because this game rewards not consistency. What's the word?
Repetition.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's another word. It's just fancier word I'm trying to use when I can't remember it. So I look like an idiot.
My Fat Man's pretty solid now.
So
Mine's pretty solid now as well.
I do want to take a quick sec out to actually talk about the Fat Man fight, since I'm not interested in failing 100 times just to prove points. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take out the right side bomb first, and that will manipulate Fat Man into coming up to the top of the helipad. From there, I'm going to chase that motherfucker down with the SOCOM, and I'm going to pump as many rounds into him as I possibly can with the M9. Now, you can do it with the SOCOM. It's ever so slightly faster since you do chip damage to him through his bomb suit.
Now, sorry, just a quick question. I noticed he's got some invincibility frames, right? After he gets up.
Yes.
Like, so you should wait a couple of seconds before starting to shoot him, right?
Yeah.
And just chase him.
You want to wait until I think it's his second pace on his skates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's give that a look.
Something shit, Cass.
So here we go. I'm going to go directly to the right. Coolant. Coolant that bomb. There he is on the top. 4 shots on normal. Controller, no.
I don't like it.
Good controller.
I like you going for that bomb first. I'll do that.
You fucking...
Oh, sorry, I don't.
Triggered.
Right, you shouldn't go for that one first. Go with your right.
Anyway, let's do that where my controller doesn't fail me.
How many emotes does Bach have? I don't know, if I can count them. You think I just like count them?
I just love how aggressive it is. How many fucking emotes does he
Yeah,
have?
that's what I mean. Like, ask him.
So here's something interesting that I should note. If Fat Man gets knocked down close to a corner or a wall, he will rotate, and it will throw you off 100% of the time. So you want to try and get him and avoid as many of the walls and corners of the map as you possibly can.
And supposedly as well, because I imagine even some more advanced users of Batman might be watching, Stealth explained that you can do a tactical reload to cancel the M9's little animation and you get 3 shots off from Batman.
Really?
Yes.
Despite my trying, I've never been able to do it.
You mean what I just managed to do for the first time ever?
Yeah, no, you got 2 shots.
Oh, just wait.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so there you go. That's like when you start to get a little bit better at the game.
Okay, so
yeah, there we go.
So here's a fun fact.
Oh, bless.
I said that was the first time I've ever done that, and I mean that. I've run this game for like the past decade, and that's the first time I've ever gotten a 3-shot. That's how timing dependent and quick you have to be to do that.
Yeah, it's like, don't get hung up on that as a beginner. But this is just like say me or Scout, who've been on it for a couple of months now. Maybe we're trying to improve ourselves a little bit here and there. It's like very minor, but these little minor things start to add up, especially when you start shaving seconds off your PB as opposed to minutes.
Yeah,
and that kind of thing.
I
don't do that in your fucking first run and say, "Well, I'm resetting Fat Man now so I can get the 3 shots."
I've just thought of something I want to test real quick.
So
I'm not going to say anything until I do it.
Okay. So after Fat Man, you freeze that bomb. After Fat Man,
case is totally pointless.
God damn it.
Sorry. After Fat Man, you freeze the bomb, and you're going to get a call immediately afterwards. If you're quick enough, you can roll further down to get closer to the cutscene trigger before the call happens, and that's what I just did there. It's not important. Don't worry if you don't get it.
And it is important to note that you shouldn't just stand around like an idiot waiting for the cutscenes to happen. Because they don't. You have to go out of the area. You have to make your way towards the stairs again.
Yeah.
As opposed to Fat Man. It doesn't make a difference one way or the other whether you roll forward, backward. Like, you can climb up on the box if you want. You have like 2 seconds to try that. But I have occasionally by accident stood around waiting for it to happen. And that little scene where it gives you a little glimpse into the torture, the hostage room, it can actually let you know what kind of spawn you have. If you happen to get like all Jennifer or all old ladies or all...
yeah, you hope and pray for a Jennifer room.
Man. I've often got all... I once actually got all old man room, and that was great. I wouldn't pray for anything that's not mixed. Like, because
as far as I know, that's a HDC exclusive.
Oh, really?
The Jennifer room? No, it's not.
As far as I know, isn't it?
No, I got it on PC quite a few times now.
It's never happened to me on PC.
Like, as far as I know,
PS.
that the Jennifer room or the old lady room, I think that's got something to do with the time you meet the ninja in relation to what time your system clock is set to, or some bullshit like that. It's ridiculous.
You know I got the HD collection, right, you?
Hmm?
You know I got the HD collection?
Yeah, God bless.
Because it was second hand, the guy that traded it in only gave the fucking second disc.
Right.
So I've only got fucking Peace Walker.
Oh no!
It's the best game on the disc.
Feels bad, man.
Alright, so I've been holding here for a sec. This is a very quick menu. Again, you don't have to do it all in 1 or 2 rolls. You can use as many as you need. But you want the box, you want the BDU, and you want your M9. Now, again, I've done it in 1 roll. You can do it in 2 or 3 or however many you need. But those are the 3 items you're going to want on your bars. Tyler is actually not with us anymore. It's Raichu, Scout, and your boy Apples currently in the channel with me.
Yeah, boy.
Hey.
You boy.
The demonetization bot. Oh wait, that's me.
Oops. Stop, get away from my YouTube revenues.
So, okay. Here's our second return trip to EF Bridge. And what we're going to do here is we're going to actually take the left side path to avoid the claymores on this one.
Now that, I will say, is really not something to worry about as a beginner, because that's a fairly tricky line to pull off, because it's quite precise.
Yes, very true. You can and probably should just take the reverse of the line that you took to getting up of the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
But
like,
this is when you're
that
going
line that Python is using at the minute is more like an extreme thing where you really have to take that way because you have to destroy that cipher that would be sitting there.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's just like, it's not worth it on normal if you're not really confident in your movement.
Exactly. Like what just happened to me there. That was stupid. So I'm going to reset this.
So this is when you're going back to get the AK?
Yes, this is the AK trip.
Oh, that seems like
this line is going to be like a really sharp diagonal line towards the Shell 1 core stairs, and then it just suddenly turns straight and then around. But it's incredible. It's kind of even hard to explain what to do.
Yeah, as you can see, there's a claymore literally right here, so you have to kind of stop getting shot by ciphers first. Kind of have to really avoid that. And really, the rest of the route is just coming down here and avoiding this front claymore again. Which, obviously, I'm not terribly worried about since I've already blown myself up.
No,
it's not because I'm bad, it's because I'm trying to explain things.
Answer me. Jack!
Clearly.
I haven't got a PB in like 2 months.
I haven't had a PB in like 4 months, it's true.
Yeah, exactly. Not bad.
I haven't had a PB in 6 months, don't worry about it.
To be fair, you haven't tried.
I don't play anymore. Well, very rarely.
So that's what the left side line looks like. Again, just use the reverse of the fucking right side line, it's fine.
Because you're bad.
Is it that much faster?
I've been home like half an hour and I've got 12 shout already because you're bad.
Anyway.
That's horrible.
Coming into Strut F again, just punch once in the air. I have bonked.
That punch is unnecessary.
In paddle, it is very necessary.
It is.
You people move wrong if you think that's necessary.
It's not necessary, but it's not 100% necessary, but it's much safer to just do it.
I have never in my life been seen by that character.
I have, actually. On normal.
Yeah.
God bless.
I am.
What kind of fucking way do you... Like, if you just move towards the stairs without stepping forward, just go straight whatever direction, then head down the stairs, you won't get seen by it.
But, okay, so... leaving Strut F, as I bonked, you're not supposed to, but cartwheeling up the stairs, equip the AK, it's just one menu up from the M9.
Yeah.
It's real simple.
Something actually that I would recommend as well, if you have a notepad or a phone or whatever, as you're kind of going through and learning, try and keep count of the menu numbers and that kind of stuff, and what is the best way to menu, because like in Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4 and onwards, menuing is like one of the most important things.
Yeah, that's what I suck at the moment.
Yeah.
Same thing. I still do. 7 months in, I'm still terrible at it, but there you go.
So the reason you do the cartwheels, right, is because you have to keep moving forward while you're in that animation.
Yes.
So that's when you do,
Yeah,
you never want a menu standing still because it's just not good.
Just waste. It's just a waste.
Yeah, you're freezing yourself in time, and everything up until the very millisecond where the menu opens, everything is moving around you as normal. So things that are happening are still happening while you're stood still for that second. So it's just
I get you.
Major, but it is.
Important for timing and stuff.
So, to discuss the computer room, it's all movement. There's nothing else you need to know, just all movement. Take the left side going down, take the right side coming back up. Just make
I
it
recommend
one...
as well, if you can, tranquilize that guard who makes the cutscene, because it saves a little bit of time.
Or, what I managed to do just then is I actually rolled as the cutscene was starting, so I kept moving through it, actually, somehow. It's not consistent. That is actually the first time I've managed it. But, you know.
Say things like that.
If you were to trank him, where would you get him? Which guard is it?
The first guard you come across. It's the guy in the hallway as you're passing through.
Okay.
The guy who like runs around in circles is going up for whatever reason.
Yep. So here, I'm going to do something. I'm going to grab these stun grenades in this locker after knocking on that door. So, now this guy's out here because you knocked on the wall. Unequip your weapon. Now, I do it in first-person view mode. You can just manage him through dragging him around. It doesn't really matter.
Well, it's definitely faster to do it in first person.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I've never seen it done like that.
Because it's like one smooth movement as opposed to like the janky ass movement that you have to do otherwise.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Well, I mean, fine. Fine, use first person. Don't ever use anything else. Just run the entire game in first. Oh, holy shit, I got aims. Are you kidding me?
You're aims, aren't you?
So, okay. Aims on New Game Plus and Beyond is completely random.
Have you talked to Ames yet?
I have not.
Maybe you should like show some of the spots where he falls.
Yeah. So, this is legitimately the fastest aims you can possibly ever hope to achieve. He's going to be the first hostage you ever even see. So, if he's not there, the route I generally take is coming down through here, stumbling through all the hostages, coming to the left over here. He can be here. He can be down here, which is really annoying. Or, if you're really in a bad way, with luck, he'll be up here. So really, you want him on the right side or the back of the hallway.
You can be like mixing with these hostages you're running around in circles.
Yeah. But
I do apologize if you thought you received a codec call. That was my ringtone.
No, you're...
Hell, that was.
So, I want you to take a good long look at what Ames' head looks like. He's the only guy with light brown hair and a widow's peak and a mullet.
Yeah.
He's very distinct.
Yes, he's very, very distinctive.
And after
An
a
old
couple of
man.
runs, like you'll figure out what Ames looks like.
Yeah.
Because you don't have the luxury of on New Game him being in that usual location where you just, well, I'll just go there. So you kind of have to get a good one. And Ames is rather distinct compared to everybody else.
Yep.
And
And then you should have your AK on because it's part of the disguise. And from there, it's just 2 menus down from the from there to get to the D mic.
The way the menus work, the menus are kind of inverted. Like down is up and up is down.
Yeah.
So if you're like kind of confused if Python says it's 2 menus down, he means push down twice on the D-pad or analog if you wish. Not 2 menus below the AK.
Yes, yes. Fun fact, 2 menus below the AK on the menu is nothing.
That's not good. That's not what we need.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
We don't need that. We need the AK. You pick up your AK.
So, okay, hold on. This section here, where Ocelot's walking slowly towards you, on PS2 Sons of Liberty, you have to wait out the entire 10-second timer. On HD, on HD Collection, on Substance, on PC, just equipping the AK ends the section. This isn't
just like on PAL.
Yeah. Okay, so NTSC, you have to wait the 10 seconds. But anyway, it's not important since the tournament's going to be all on it. It's not important since HDC is for the tournament. So just hit your trigger, equip the AK, and it ends. And my controller died again.
You don't have to menu to the AK either. You just have to literally just tap R2. Even though like the directional microphone was the previous weapon, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. And here, I'm going to take a quick pause. What's going to happen up here is I'm actually going to equip the M9. I'm going to run out in front of that guard and hit my item button. Now, this is why you want your BDU and your box. So my second item has not changed from the box since I set that up at the bottom of Strut E, the helipad. So by boxing, I'm going to avoid being shot, and I'm going to be able to get to the elevator button while the guy is walking past me. And then once I've called the elevator button twice, turn and shoot either him or the radio. It doesn't really matter. So
that's smart.
This
Next time I'm getting the elevator down.
Indeed. So quickly, aim M9, walk in front of him. I didn't box. And I got the alert. Wow, great. I'm gonna quickly die. As quickly as I can, at least.
Doesn't matter because there's caution over there. You can't,
oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, I can't call the elevator while it's on alert anyway. So, but yeah, that's the basic gist of it. You get seen by the guard, you box up to avoid damage, make him run past you, call the elevator, shoot the guard, get on the elevator.
So now the bottom floor is going to be different.
Yes, it is.
I guess you could shoot somebody in the leg.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through it as if it was the same. I'll point out whatever differences there are.
There are many times where dying will change the routes of the next area. I've noticed it a couple of times.
Actually.
Just get seen and shoot out his radio. You're running. That's a you shot him in the face.
Well.
Oh yeah, that should work. No, because somebody's just gonna come and wake him up now.
Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. So, coming out of this elevator, I didn't mention because I generally forget to do this myself, but you want to have your chaffs ready when you come out of this elevator. So you come out, you toss a chaff, there's a camera right there, it'll see you. But you can run down this hallway a little bit. Now, these two guards are going to be there, but there's also going to be a caution guard, instant alert guard. Stop it. Okay, there's going to be an instant alert caution guard standing in that doorway. What you can either do is either shoot him in the head or shoot the wall behind him to distract him. Shooting the wall to distract him is faster since you don't have to manually quickly aim at all. Yeah.
And it's important that you are wearing the BDU here because it lowers their perception of rising.
Really?
Yeah, they just kind of. I think the way it works is they just kind of assume you're one of them before realizing exactly how wrong that observation is. Like,
yeah.
For a reason like that.
Okay,
there's a lot
because
of
you're out of caution, that's right, that guard's not there now.
So, another thing about... Will you just pause? Thank you. Another thing about the distraction shot is that it is risky. If you miss the roll on the caution guard, if you bump him at all, he will alert, and again, that is an instant alert, and that screws up your EF connecting bridge.
And you also need to be out of the shell encore before he stands up, because he knows the way you've rolled into him, he's already seen you. But until he stands up, you can't phone in the alert. So the second he stands up, the alert's going to kick in. So you need to be like out quick. So grab the ammo and just leave.
Yeah, most times I don't even grab the ammo. Sometimes it's due to forgetfulness. Sometimes it's just I'm trying to get out of here really quickly.
You should preferably grab it because that's kind of the last time you'll see that ammo for a while.
Yeah, a few times where I've run out of their 9 ammo because I forgot about it.
Yeah, personally, I've gotten to the point where I'm comfortable enough with the ammo count, just the 46 rounds you give you at the beginning, to where I can carry that through. But as a new player, yes, you should definitely be aiming to grab that package of ammo.
I mean, as a new player, just aim to shoot your man in the head, like, and don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing at the minute.
And if you get an alert leaving the shell encore, just throw yourself off the bridge because you won't get by the ciphers. And you need that chat for asking to hire you.
Yeah. So, coming out of Shell 1 on the EF bridge, you want to be very, very careful of the, oh shit. Well, fuck. Anyway, you want to be very careful of how many panels you take out. If you take out more than 3 in a row, then you have to either reset the bridge or, you know, just deal with it after you come back going towards Arsenal. You want 2 panels down at the most, because then you can just cartwheel over them and it's not an issue. If there's 3 panels down, you have to use the hanging mode, and it's real slow. So Strat F again. This is going to look a little different than what it normally looks like. Normally there's a guard here. He's going to walk up. Normally just box to avoid damage, shoot him in the head, etc. Oh, hi. So, this is a bit of a mess. Normally, of course, those guys aren't there. Normally you can just run in, grab the PSG-1 really, really quickly, and then run back out. We're going to ignore everything that just happened there.
So you did the boxy thing at the top here, right? Normally?
Yes.
Yeah, box, trank, roll, or just hold him up, or what?
You can box him and then trank him in the head. Or you can hit his radio, but if you hit his radio, you have a really good chance at getting punched, because he's going to run towards his buddy in the lower portion.
Yeah.
So on Strut E, I took the bottom path, going towards the left side. Oh, Jesus Christ. These guys are everywhere, man. I am bleeding. I couldn't take another shot there, or else I would have died. Would have been pretty cool, but, you know, whatever. That's more or less the way the route I took is the way to get to the Shell 1-2 connecting bridge. Granted, the conditions are absolutely the most different you could possibly think of, since normally you'll have pretty clear shots all the way through. But the important part is that we're here. We're here now. I'm just going to take this opportunity to heal up really quickly. Okay. So, on EF Bridge, I do this differently from some people. I take out the closer ranged ones first, and then I shoot for the Cypher. A lot of people, for just starting out, I would suggest that you actually do the opposite. Take out the Cypher first, that way if you blow him up, you know, you reset, you're not... Yeah, you don't miss anything. But...
I guess if you're confident with it, it's fine, right?
Yes. Now, I wanted to note that I'm not actually looking at the iron sights of the SOCOM. I'm looking at where the laser pointer is when I'm moving the SOCOM around. Because the iron sights, more often than not, they'll just get in your way.
Yeah.
Now, for the flag shot, aim kind of for the bend in the snake, where it kind of makes that U shape. It really should only take you one shot to get it, but if it takes you more, then don't worry too much about it. Just a minor little optimization thing. And then take out the Cypher. Or, you know, take out the Cypher first and then do everything else. Again.
Oh god, that distance without zooming makes me nervous.
I have done this entirely too many times at this point. It's second nature to me. I never zoom in with the stupid PSG-1 until like sniping section.
Yeah.
So after you've taken out the sensors, you don't want to move forward immediately quite yet. One of the most important things is re-equip your SOCOM and then move forward. This will set up your menu for the Harrier fight. Now, I'm not going to try and show you 5-shot start because this is more for kind of the newer guys. So 5 shots, I don't want to say it's out of your league, but it's definitely not something you should be expecting to get.
So would that be 3 at the front, 1 at the top, 1 at the back?
I'm sorry?
If the 5-shot, I've never seen it done. Is it like 3 at the front, 1 at the top, and then 1 behind you?
Yes. You have to blind fire the 4th shot.
Yeah.
And missing 5-shot. So 5-shot and 4-shot are not mutually exclusive. It's just really hard to recover a 5-shot failure into a 4-shot because you have to aim particularly well to get the 4-shot to begin with. So
if you were going for the 4-shot, the 4th shot would be behind you then?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, because I always aim straight up.
Yeah, so I hope I paused in time because you really want to do this really, really quickly. Like, I'm gonna unpause and I'm gonna go through it and then I'll explain it afterwards. So, that was 4-shot. What I did was re-equipped my SOCOM, thanks to the menuing I did before the Harrier fight started. Then I went and shot him 3 times with the Stinger. I turned around. I took the Stinger off and I turned around so that I could aim properly for the 4th shot. Now, doing 4-shot start, it does mean that he does this cluster bomb phase earlier, which is fine as long as you know what to do. You can stand beneath, or you can climb down really quickly, aim towards that open square in the railing, and once the camera shifts in that cutscene, skip it. Don't skip it immediately. And then,
yeah, this is the same as in your tutorial video, isn't it?
More or less, yes.
Yeah, okay.
And then the rest of it is pretty stock standard for Harrier.
So for him to do the cluster bomb, he has to take a certain amount of damage, right?
Yeah.
He only advances in phases when he's taken X amount of damage.
Yeah.
I'll take care of it. What the?
And that's Harrier done relatively quickly. You can do it faster if you don't take a missile like I did. You can avoid it by just going back and forth in a wide line. Or you can take it safely. I would honestly actually suggest you take it more safely and just hide for that phase if you're not confident until you've gotten some practice underneath your wings there. So yeah, that was 4-shot start. So for 5-shot, you take the first 3 shots up here. Thank you, Tyrese Style, for the follow. I appreciate it. So for 5-shot, you take your first 3 shots, then you immediately move your stinger kind of up in this direction. Of course, it looks different since the bridge is destroyed now, but it's more or less just like directly above you. Take a blind fire shot, and then move immediately so that you're looking towards strut D again. Again, it's not something I would really worry about if you're just starting out, just starting to learn the ropes. But it does help if you're trying to, say, improve a really ridiculously good PV. Like, I don't know if Tyler got his... I don't know if Tyler got 5-shot in his PV run there.
I don't think he did.
But anyway, once the bridge is destroyed after the Harrier fight, we're going to actually take the leap of faith. This is much, much more generous than you might think it is. You do kind of want to make sure that you are cartwheeling at the last possible second-ish. And when you're in the air, you want to go ahead and swap to your BDU. This will help. As Scout and Raichu mentioned, it'll make sure you're less noticeable towards the guards.
Yeah.
And
it adds camouflage points.
Yeah. And you're also going to want to swap to your M9 during this jump. Then you're going to... what that'll do, it'll set you up for this one. So you menu up to the AK, or down, pressing the down button, of course. And doing that is important so that you're closer to the chaff grenades. Now, you notice that the tiles that drop out are a bit discolored. If you time it correctly, you can actually skip that little cutscene without actually seeing it. Whoops. If you time out your little cartwheels. It's more difficult than it's really worth, but if you get it, you get it. It's great. Anyway, skip that cutscene and go straight on through. You want to move as fast as you possibly can here, including getting into hanging mode fast as possible. And of course, flipping up at the moment you can. Which brings us to the perimeter. After this, cartwheel past this first guard. Make sure you see that, because it'll give you a good indicator as to where you're supposed to knock. What am I doing?
What are you doing?
That was a mistake. I have to reset that.
Brighton, what's going on?
I need that chaff later.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I need that chaff later.
That.
I don't need to use that now. But anyway, cartwheel past the first guy. Watch that cutscene so that you can knock on this wall here. Of course, do it earlier than I did it because now he's all in a screwy position. I'm all sorts of shook. Whoa! I'm all sorts of shook. That was...
Sounded like Fat Albert then.
Right. Is something wrong?
Yeah, I'm all sorts of shook. I shouldn't have used that chaff, and I just, like, I lost my mind for a second there.
Almost like me trying to roll upstairs.
So knock on that particular panel. And you want 2 weapons here, not your chaff. You want 2 weapons so that you can do canceling of your animation here. Doing it in a specific rhythm. Doing it in a specific rhythm. Well, you only need 1 weapon, but having the AK out makes menuing out to the chaff simpler. It's 1 input instead of like 2 or 3. But you throw your chaff at the top of this, and you'll have plenty of time to make it all the way down the bridge and across.
It's important to mention as well that when you're spamming the weapon on and off to glide along, you can spam it a faster rate while riding and standing up than you can with crouch.
Yeah, so the animation cancel that I just did there, it's important that you go at a specific rhythm because there's a little bit of a speed boost for when Raiden first starts taking that step. And you don't get that if you just go ham on the button like, you know.
Well, as you stand up.
Yeah, if you just kept spamming, it would slow it down a bit if you went too fast.
Yes. And
you can spam it if you have chaffs and stun grenades equipped though.
Really? Oh yeah. You're right. I remember the throwables.
You have to hold backwards. Hold the wrong way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's how you get through walls and stuff, isn't it?
So
Not going through wall.
I am. I paused here because I do want to mention I took off the BDU here. This is so incredibly important for the dumbest reason.
No, it's not.
It's not really.
Can't confirm.
No, it doesn't slow you down.
It does. I have timed this. It actually does.
You need to time better.
Raichu has timed it as well. It has no reason to slow you down.
Scout was watching while I timed it.
It's poppycock.
I don't know.
You and Jaggy are very good at this with me now, and it's like, well, show me where you timed it.
Hey,
you didn't have
takes a lot more.
I have
so many polygons on that BDU, you know.
I have
loaded.
I have never skipped those cutscenes. I have never skipped those cutscenes so fast with the BDU on.
Just the idea that it will be slower is fucking stupid.
It is really dumb. I agree. It is really dumb, but I swear to God that it is slower to have the BDU.
I'm gonna ask the most knowledgeable person I know in MGS2.
I'm right here. Just ask me, and I'm telling you.
Anyway, regardless, we're in Shell 2 Core.
The best line in all of Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Regardless, we're in Shell 2. The first part is all movement.
Just wait a few minutes now for an actual response.
A few days.
So you want to be careful of your cartwheeling, because as we mentioned way back in Strut C, if you manage to roll into a corner at an angle, you will stop dead, and it's not good.
I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this for you into treatment.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
How many stingers do I have? Hold on a sec. I'm gonna take a quick break out here to check how many stingers I have. If I have enough, I'll show you something, which I do. Okay, cool. Alright, so we're in the swimming section. Right now we're going for the Nikita.
Can I confirm you don't have enough, by the way?
I have...
B1 is completely flooded.
I have close to the amount I need, and it's more than enough to show off the strat if I can get start it.
What do you like? You mean you're doing swim glitch or no?
I'm not gonna do the swim glitch. I have a save file for that though.
Yeah, but like you could just pick up the stinger ammo
yes.
underneath the PSG-1T.
Yes, that was the plan.
Okay.
So no, you're good.
Sounded so disheartened by that.
No worries. No worries, it's okay.
No, Python knows everything, he doesn't need us yet.
No, that's not true. That has been proven false so many times this stream alone.
What's been proven false? What's been proven false?
The fact that the opinion rather that I know everything. I clearly do not.
Oh.
I clearly know basically what I know.
I know what I know. Pythonicus 2017.
I know a good deal about this game, but I don't know nearly everything. So I took out those two fucking gun cameras and I climbed up. And this is what I was mentioning earlier. I timed this out. This is actually faster than going for the European Extreme vent.
And it's only faster if your aim isn't potato.
Also true.
Yeah, that you can. Yeah, you can tell that's faster just by looking at it because it's more straight for the Nikita missile, which means you can boost for longer.
Yes. But yes, it's also true that your aim has to be pretty on point.
Like pretty decent. Like I mean, you can afford to lose a shot or two and still be faster because I mean the travel time for you and the heat is much shorter. But I mean, if it takes you a click to destroy those two cameras, then it's not faster.
Yeah, I use a visual cue for destroying the cameras on that one. I shoot the magazine on the one on the right, and then I shoot the barrel on the one on the left.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's actually not a bad idea. Those cameras are a bit weird. You have to kind of just shoot in very particular locations, Nathan.
Yeah.
I remember when I was younger, I was convinced there was a secret in that room because it was guarded. It never occurred to me that it was just another way to shoot the Nikita. Bearing in mind, this is the same young man that took fucking 3 years to finish Metal Gear Solid 2, so...
Yeah.
So why do you use the other vent in European Extreme?
Because the one that I just used for normal is closed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yep. That is the only one that's actually open on European Extreme. Is the one out in the towards the boxes that you pass by.
Yeah, to mention, like, you can't do the normal room on European Extreme because the vent is locked.
Yep.
I don't know if you can. I think you might be able to destroy the grate, but like that alone is very
just wastes time, nah.
That's assuming you can, because I don't actually know.
Yeah, you can. You can. You can destroy
sure?
the. Yeah.
Huh. I didn't actually know that.
Snake tails, but I don't actually think you can.
No, it takes like way too many Nikita missiles to do.
That's when you pull out the stinger and just fucking go to town on it and then shoot a Nikita missile.
Speaking of whipping out the Stinger missile and going to town, we're headed to Vamp. We're headed to Vamp, and the first thing I kind of want to show you. I will be. Don't worry.
This isn't a swim. This is a regular swim. You've lied to me.
I'm not doing it this time.
It's sad, man.
My save file doesn't have enough stingers flat out to do this, so I want to take the opportunity while I have enough stingers to show it, and then swap to the save file.
It's like hell. It isn't easy to do this.
It is not. This is one of the harder things to pull off in the game. If you
God bless it, saves so much time.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good at this swim glitch now.
I'm god awful at it.
I don't even.
So
bother.
I've been doing it in 3 cycles now.
When
I
doing
did a marathon run not too long ago, and I pointed out that there was a swing glitch, and I was like, the back of the glitch can go fuck itself. And first out, it's like, oh.
So
that glitch can go fuck itself.
The swing glitch can actually go fuck itself.
So when doing this particular method, grabbing that pack of stinger ammo is pretty much always necessary, depending on how much you take coming from the Harrier fight.
Just to mention, the frame perfect on this codec, you have to wait till boat riding, till he's on dry land completely. Like, you can't do it as he's on the way upstairs, because for some reason he'll still answer. He'll open the codec, but Snake won't call till that.
Yeah.
He's planned, so it's a very difficult one to frame perfect.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give this a try. I've never actually gotten Lethal Vamp ever.
Me either.
I did like twice. I actually got it once on my very first try. I was like,
yeah, Plywood did the same in the middle of a race. He just fucking busts out Lethal Vamp.
And that was it, then I could never do it.
It's pretty easy on PS2.
So
lag.
yeah, it is easier on PS3, but it's still not easy, is the thing. So you want to run kind of like to this position. You want to make sure Vamp is slightly to the right of you in relation. Then you're going to pull up your Stinger missile and start spamming the ever-loving hell out of him. Look at all of this glorious lag.
The thing you have to keep in mind with this is you have to be shooting where Vamp is. You have to try to make Vamp out through the smoke.
Yes.
Because the missile... Vamp is too close to you for the missile to actually effectively lock onto him.
Yeah.
So you have to be directly hitting him, because the missiles just kind of go behind him and explode in his direction. But it won't hurt him. And it's
Look at
this
this glorious lag, though.
Pythonicus' Stinger missile is a shower, not a grower.
And you're also fighting like major lag here to pull the reticule down as well, which makes the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
I didn't even realize you got this lag on Haste Production.
Oh yes.
And you'll know it's going badly. If you miss 1 or 2 missiles, you might as well stop, because Vamp has to constantly being hit for not to go under.
No,
yes.
This isn't happening. Jack,
The damage animation, that's why.
And the thing about it is, you can tell when you failed because his red box will jerk upwards much faster. Like that right there, exactly.
Oh yeah, you can see a jerk up, yeah. I didn't actually know that.
Something wrong. So that's the basic gist of it. I'm not going to sit here and grind that out because I want to move on. But I do have...
you can show off the easier version of Vamp.
Yes, I do have a save file at the swimming section to show off our other way of speeding up this little bit.
To bear in mind as well, the swing glitch, if you can't get it, it's like whatever, because it's only 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's not major.
In Tyler's words, I'm going to take that 10 seconds and beat you with it.
So, okay, the thing about it is, alright?
Needing more than 10 seconds to beat me.
Swimming glitch... Alright, hold on, guys. The swim glitch saves about... The swim glitch in total saves about 3 seconds, right? Because you don't open any doors on the way there, but you do have to open one on the way back. So it saves in total around 3 seconds. Keep it in mind. It's worth it if you get it first try, but if you have to do multiple attempts, then no.
Like I think Stealth Out's put it best. He kind of said it's either going to save you a couple of seconds or lose you a couple of minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty much right. Yeah, it's either going to save you those 3 seconds, or it's just going to put you fucking behind, so far behind, especially if you screw up Vamp.
So here,
like, in my opinion, it's not worth doing. But unless you want to do every little thing.
So to start this up, we're going to want to climb to the ceiling here and look towards that corner. Then starts the mash. Mash circle, and I use the left analog stick. I use the left analog stick because I find it's a little bit easier than using the D-pad somehow. Even though it sounds really weird. It is weird.
Yeah, I can't use analog for this.
Mashing the analog stick.
Mashing the analog stick, but you're using that corner to kind of climb upwards. And as long as you're more than halfway up, you can kind of finagle it so you can get all the way out through the ceiling on this wall here.
I've never used that word before.
Finagle it, yes.
You can finagle it, that's amazing!
The real objective here is to get all the way through the ceiling through on this one wall, like ish. But again, if you're more than halfway up, you can kind of.
This is a
I've noticed sometimes you like get out of the water though if you're not too like high up enough. I didn't realise you could go into that other wall at the side to. Yeah.
Side note, if you're doing this on PS2 and you're playing Sons of Liberty, you just lie down in front of the elevator and press triangle, and you just clip to the floor.
Yeah, it's a lot easier. But it's not as fun.
No.
This isn't fun at all.
Because grinding this out for hours just to get it down is fun.
No, this is not fun at all. Also, you don't... While you're doing this, you really don't want to be touching the up or down directions either.
Oh no, it'll reset you.
You get out of the water.
It resets your position.
The thing I found helpful with getting this down was like when I know you used the analog, right? But when I'm tapping the D-pad, I'm tapping at a lot less pace as what I'm mashing circle.
Yes, it's so not the same rhythm.
Different timings, that's confusing. But once you realise that, it's a lot easier, I think.
But yeah, you want to get behind the door. You don't want to clip into the door, but once you're behind the door, just kind of get up to surface level again, and you know.
Get up to surface level, press up or down. It doesn't really matter. Because it resets your position regardless.
To be honest, getting that door at the end is the bit I struggle with the most.
Yeah. So for Vamp, I shot him once with the M9 in the head, and then I shot a couple of stingers into his water to take out a little bit more of his stamina bar. And then we're going to play some Punch Out.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out, featuring a vampire. Halloween edition.
So that was okay. I'm gonna pause once I get out of these cutscenes and codecs, but that was a one-cycle vamp fight. That is what you want to look for. So what I did that you probably won't be able to do on your first few tries is the 8-punch combo that I got like 3 times there. That is incredibly timing specific and incredibly spacing specific. The way that works is you want to be in his hitbox. You want to be inside of Vamp by the time that he starts to swipe again. Otherwise, he'll jump back into the water.
The rhythm's similar to like the liquid infinite punch from MGS1, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
I think as well. I don't think you actually have to be, if you're kind of feeling a bit nervous about being like right on top of him. As long as you're in front of him enough that within his range and in front of him, he won't go back into the water. But if you're behind him, he will. He'll just like fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Sometimes if you do get caught and you get swiped and you end up face into the ground, sometimes if you are close enough, he will try and swipe you again. And that's kind of what you want if you do fail the one cycle, is to just be close enough. But I wouldn't honestly worry about it missing the one cycle. As long as you can get the 2 cycle, really.
Yeah. Like, I know when I was learning it takes a while to get it down, mainly because the hitbox for that knife is ridiculously big.
Even when he stops the animation, like that knife,
it can still hit you. It can still hit you.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the way I did it to learn was I spaced myself as far away from him as possible, and then attacked him from behind. And then you sort of build up the confidence, you know, how far you can push that hitbox just from doing it over and over again. Yes, and then you can start to get in front of him and start going for your 6 punches and your 8 punches.
And that's essentially how this game works in general.
Yeah, it's just doing the same thing over and over again, building up your confidence and your muscle memory. That's MGS2 in a nutshell.
The same thing over and over. It's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
This is the hated part of the whole run so far. I really hate this section.
I hate the next room with EE. Upstairs in Shell 2, because I did not know this guard existed until I started speedrunning. But the one that sits opposite the gun turret room.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, never knew he existed, and he catches me every fucking time if I don't tranquilize him. So I don't know how.
So coming
pushing her onto the stairs, guys.
Yeah.
So coming back into Vamp's room, you don't actually have to bring Emma with you. She'll just teleport.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Only that first room, though.
Yeah.
All other rooms, Emma needs to be present.
Mm-hmm.
Except technically leaving Shell 2 core, because you can bump Emma through the door. Technically, you're not bringing her, but she's there anyway.
Yeah. If she is in the loading zone at the same time you are in the loading zone, she'll be with you in the next room.
Yes, it actually saves a bit of time because you'll be further ahead. This last time you have to walk with EE.
Yep.
Okay.
Again, though, you're like pinching seconds, but it saves so little time.
Yeah.
So this is.
Point where I point out that even a second count.
Yeah.
It's the speed run, you know. The fastest route's the best route.
I have like a world record by 8 seconds. So.
Exactly. That swim glitch.
No, this is from luck. So I was like fairly confident, like fuck it, I wasn't gonna get it, and then I was like, okay, I got it. Cool, sweet.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the one door you have to open up when you have Emma, if you do the swim.
Yeah.
And something to mention about Emma and her life bar. You don't have to worry about her health going down, but don't let it drop below the A in her name. Or she'll periodically stop
and sit down, and it takes so long for it to get back up.
It can be like within the A though.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't go below that A. If it's not touching the M, you're fine.
So, something interesting that I did there that saved barely a fraction of a second is I quickly grabbed Emma's hand. So far I've only been able to manage to do it coming out of the water in the Shell 2 core here. Basically I just hold left, and basically as I pass her I press the triangle button and hold it, and it seems to work out 9 times out of 10. I need to do more testing with it to see if it works anywhere else. And I also just kind of dragged her to the edge of the bugs so that she doesn't go walking away, and then choked her onto the elevator.
Yeah. Just choking her on, then you don't need to get out the coolant and spray everything.
Yeah.
So it just saves quite a lot of time, actually. I think it's like 20 odd seconds to spray the bugs away.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's awful.
I used to use the grenade launcher to kill.
That's one way to do it.
Everyone should be using the grenade launcher to beat the raid.
I think that's the first time I've heard that done. Just use the fucking...
I was casually playing out. I used to do the grenade launcher just because it was amusing.
I've never done that.
In first person view, like all the boats like fly onto ride.
Oh yeah.
Windscreen.
So, I'm kind of moving through this quickly and not explaining anything. Basically, it's all movement and aim. That's all you really need. Movement and aim.
And something to mention: once you get past these stairs, that you shoot that guard on. I know there's like going to be a little delay, but
yeah.
Once you get past them, if you happen to get seen by someone, tranquilize them quickly and just leave for the bridge. Because when you come back in, Emma will be in the president's room. But if you won't get out in time, dragging Emma along with you. It's just not gonna happen.
So, I kind of stuttered there, or I stopped. So, there is a strat here that I was on my way to doing, and then I stopped, and then I lost my concentration, and I failed it. But if you are able to bump Emma down onto like the second stair in the staircase here, that little cutscene where the guard comes out of the elevator, completely skipped.
Doesn't happen.
Completely
skipped. It also removes the sleeping guard just below the stairs.
Yep. So now we have to deal with both of those things. So which means we have to move quickly. We have got to move quickly. We got to get past this corner here, so that the guy who's patrolling up there now won't catch us. And then we got to take care of that guy. And my controller keeps on.
Quickly, not because of him, because of the speedrun.
Also that.
We got to get ready for everybody's favorite guard, Mo.
I don't make him Mo. I just go past him.
Yes,
Mo. But Mo's better.
But it's slower.
But Mo.
Go past him. Don't hold him up.
And that's also that's the other part where we bump Emma through the door. I didn't do it here because screw it.
It's really easy. And even if he catches it, it's like whatever, you just shoot him in the face and keep going.
Yeah.
You want that chaff grenade pack. You want it absolutely. It's 100% necessary for the strat that I take here.
Sure.
So get up to the point where you're going to throw the chaff onto like that lattice bit, and my controller needs to stop dying now. Thank you. Anyway, now we have a nice clean stroll. I throw it where I do because this guard up here, if you're up here, when he gets up here, he'll start investigating it, and goddamn control, man. And
there is another way you can do it. Learning. I still do it sometimes now, and that is to just throw a chaff as soon as you come around the corner. When you get to the top, shoot the guard in the head, and then throw a second chaff. That's the alternate route. It is slower, but it's safer if you're still learning your timing.
You'll need it for that makes the bridge, the shell 1-2 connecting bridge. Not shell.
I've done that chaff. Yeah, I know what you mean. I've done that chaff and still had enough to get through. I've still had a chaff left because I don't use because I play. Well, we all know normal is alert simulator. You try and get as many alerts as possible. So go into shell 2 the first time. If you're cartwheeling right, you after the second gap, go into the core. If you cartwheel and equip the box, then the ciphers see you, but you don't get damage blocked by them. So it's still exactly the same time, and you save a chaff.
Yeah, fair enough. And as long as you empty the chaffs from your inventory, that's good.
Yeah. But like I said, we're playing on normal. We do as many alerts as possible. Like in Tanker, when I get to the crew lounge, I walk through the door and shoot straight away because you get an alert, but you avoid having to wait for that guard. Trank him. You can just run straight on the corner.
Yeah, I don't bother tranking that fella at the bottom. It's just like whatever, it's gonna clear when I get to engine room.
Yeah, exactly. You may as well just shoot as soon as you get on the corner, get the alert there because it's faster.
Unless you go for Dove, man, God bless you.
Yeah.
What you ever
Is that Tengu 2 skin possible with this version?
No.
Nope.
No.
The cooling trick is what you're referring to with the answer.
Yeah.
Well, it's possible, but it's like hella hard.
Yeah, it's ridiculously hard.
Like, it's bullshit. Because they did patch it out, didn't do much of a job of it. So
No.
it's possible, but it's not possible.
It's the same thing. Yeah, essentially.
It's the same thing, just more bullshit.
It's the same thing with a lot of things, like that got quote patched out and caught in from Sons of Liberty to Substance. It's like the glitch in Parcel Room where you're totally invisible to guards. That was believed to be patched out on Substance, but I found out if you do it exactly the same way, only when you get off the way to re-equip the box, then get back on. It works exactly the same, which is why I'm still adamant elevator glitch is still a thing in Substance. Has to be, just a more advanced method.
I wonder if they didn't even patch these things, they just kind of wrote in some extra code here and there and it just kind of happened to affect them.
So, I was letting that discussion go because it's interesting, but also, for sniping section, the guards on the struts, they'll always appear in the same 3 spots. It's top left, bottom right, bottom left. Every single time. And then when Emma gets directly underneath the top left, he'll spawn again, and you just have to take him out.
It's almost as if the patterns were copy-pasted.
There is a trick in which you can overdose Raiden on pentamine, and he'll just be fine forever. I don't particularly use it because the effect stacks.
I knew it for a long time, and nobody else knew about it, and I didn't realize.
Yeah, I knew about it.
Because I always take the 5 so that I can the rest. Like I take the rest of whatever I had left from earlier, so that I can just pick up the 10.
Yeah. Like you can overdo the pentathlon, and I guess on normal it doesn't matter because they'll spawn anyway, but it's like, it is a stupid idea because you don't need the pentathlon for the ciphers, and really you shouldn't use them because it is a waste of a menu.
Have you seen my aiming?
Have you seen mine?
It's like trying to aim with a Wiimote.
I have no idea really my history. They let me use a Wiimote and I aim to find it really. I wish I could play this with keyboard now on PC.
Someone said he was going to try and play it with the... I was like...
He is, yeah. He's not going to get it to work though because it doesn't support enough.
Actually, you could get it to work.
You could use Xpadder, I suppose.
No, you wouldn't do it through Xpadder. Xpadder can't do it. You've got to use a controller called Xinput, a driver called Xinput, sorry, and Virtual Joy. And basically what you can do is you can emulate a controller via mouse and keyboard. So all you do at that point is bind keyboard controls, controller buttons to your keyboard, and then your lock stick to your mouse.
Did you say motion and joy? Isn't that big?
No, I said VJoy.
Wow.
Yeah, don't ever download Motion and Joy. It's malware. Just don't do it.
It doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't? Interesting.
Nope.
You can still download it, but the servers are dead.
Oh, the servers are dead.
Well, it's an online tool but it can't connect online anymore, so it's dead.
There you go. Okay. Well, still, don't do it.
No, don't.
Nah.
It's an absolute cancer.
No, because I use that method with VJoy to be able to use mouse and keyboard on my Xbox One, and I'm not sorry about it.
You should be.
So I'm waiting in this specific, or I'm looking in the specific direction because that's where the last cipher is going to spawn. If you know exactly where everything's going to be, you can just sit there and wait for it to happen. And it makes the sniping more boring, but it also makes it a whole lot simpler.
Yeah.
Like right now, I'm actually looking directly where the end trigger is.
Just before we get in front of Vamp, there is 2 ways you can do it. It's debated on which one's faster, and that is to either straight up shoot the leg, which has no hit reset or cooldown, so you can just spam it straight into his leg, or you can aim at Vamp's head and shoot repeatedly. There is a tiny window where you can't hit them, but it's not that big.
I think shooting the leg's definitely faster, isn't it?
I don't know.
I personally
shoot him in the head and it seems pretty fast.
I personally prefer shooting him in the leg because then I get to do something like this.
You just get to be a chain gun, basically.
Because if you shoot him in the head, then he's got like frames where he recovers, right?
Yeah, but he doesn't. He takes a lot more damage. You kill him in like 3 shots, I think, hitting him in the head.
It's
only
either
like
3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a half-second window, I think, in between shots. It's something that would need to be timed. That's why it's kind of hotly debated. I shoot the head. Pythor shoots the leg. A lot of other people shoot the leg. Just one of those things that we won't know until we test it, and everyone's too lazy to test it.
Yeah, that's the one thing about MGS2. We have one tester who isn't too lazy. Sorry, 2 testers who aren't too lazy to do the things they should.
I just test pointless things that intrigue me. That's pretty much all I test.
So going through Strut E again, you want to re-equip your chaffs if you have them at this point, or if unless you're doing Scoot's thing.
Well, you would still have a chaff here. You'd have more chaffs actually, if you did it in my way.
But yeah, you kind of just wait for that cipher, or you really don't have to wait for them. I just prefer to.
Nah.
I just prefer to because I try to limit the amount of alerts I get, but you don't have to wait. You can just run and throw the chaff, and you'll be fine by the time you reach the broken down bridge.
It's alert simulator, man. What are you talking about?
If you do get an alert, but then throw the chaff after, it will still jam them, though. Won't
Yeah.
it?
Yes.
Yeah. And now we transition from side flips to naked side flips.
Of course. Now, there's a cutscene. There's a couple of ways to go through the next room, the Jejunum, without getting spotted, going through it quickly. Yeah, it's a dumb name.
Yeah.
But there's a few ways to do it swiftly and to do it without getting spotted. And really, this is like the one place you do not want to get spotted, because otherwise you're going to take shots every fucking second you're in there.
This fellow? You remember
Oh,
me,
with
don't
the torture sequence as well. The first torture sequence, you actually don't need to press triangle roll.
Nope.
Because the timing on it is pretty much perfect.
Well,
as you run out of oxygen, the sequence ends.
Yeah, I mean, you have like a second or two where your oxygen's out, but you don't lose any health for it.
Yeah.
I do it for the swag.
If you need to practice your mash, that's a good place to do it.
Yeah. It's the perfect place to do it. He also dies faster in naked mode. Yeah, I only knew about that recently, the fact that Raiden actually takes more damage from Tengu guards in naked mode.
Brace yourself.
I don't know if that's an armor stat that comes with equipment, or the fact that these first room Tengu guards have deal out slightly more damage.
It could just be an effect by making the first guys do more damage.
Yeah.
But either way, it's the same. It's the same kind of effect, you know.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
So I called Rose there. That's the only way to speed up this little bit here, so that you can exit as soon as Olga stops talking at you. And I'm gonna take this call as soon as I get into the Jejunum. That way, I can roll past this first guard without him being more suspicious than he is. Like so.
Fun fact, in torture scene when Raiden pops out, if you're playing on PC with the widescreen patch enabled, with no black bars, you can actually see the hole where his crotch is.
The action man.
So when going through this upper path, I don't cartwheel except for like on the bridges or the gaps. It makes things so much safer, and it times out perfectly so where you're underneath the cameras instead of, you know, getting seen by them.
This is the way I go through this room as well.
And
because it's just the safest.
Yeah, and ascending cult. Well, I wouldn't call it the safest, but it's definitely the fastest.
Yeah, the safest while being fast, while still being pretty speedy.
So you want to take that phone call as the first moment you possibly can as well, because that'll set you up to take 6 calls to get out of here. 5 from the Colonel and then the 1 from Rose.
I don't know if you mentioned, but the one as you're first going into there as well, right? So that you can roll past that first card.
I'm sorry?
When you first go into this section, after the torture room, I don't know if you mentioned it, holding select so that you can get into.
Yeah, I did. Yep.
I'm sure we covered that earlier, just before Fortune, I think.
Yeah. Well, it was actually just after we got into the plant. I was talking about it too.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's fine.
I knew it was in the docks. I just thought Fortune.
So
yeah, one thing about this room: if you're too close to the door, the final codec with Rose won't trigger.
Yeah, that's
you
why
need to be a certain amount away.
That's actually where I post myself up, is right next to that line, like up here. This second line. This is basically the barrier.
Yeah, essentially. And it was actually tested by Fox in this room that it is slightly fast. I can't remember exactly how much, but it is actually faster to swing your sword.
About a minute, I think. Minute and a half.
For some stupid reason as well. I don't understand why. It's trigger based. How the trigger goes if you're consistently swinging your sword, I don't know.
If you're standing too far up, I don't think.
Another thing I noticed that I have tested is that you actually have to move forward slightly in order for the trigger to go as well. Like if you just stand against the wall and do this, it's not going to work. You have to move forward a little bit.
Yeah.
So coming up here, this is Tengu 1. This is on HD Collection the only consistently skippable Tengu fight out of the 2 of them. So what I do is I damage boost my way all the way down here, which is really annoying, but it's either this or use a box.
I use a box personally because it's just easier.
And then using the AK, I take out all 3 of those guards and then just flatten up against the wall and proceed.
There is an alternative, 2 alternatives actually. One which is getting in the box and running all the way down, and then just before those 3 guards spawn right at the door, is to throw about 2 stun grenades and then press yourself up against, or just run all the way down and throw stun grenades the entire way down. But that requires getting every stun grenade possible.
I really struggle with grenade away.
The timing in that is pretty weird. It's hard to get down. I still can't do it. I just know it's possible.
The first stun won't knock them out, will it? It'll just blind them.
No, it just blinds them.
And then if you just spam throw them, then it doesn't seem to be efficient in using them.
No, you need to. I think it's like 2 or 3 seconds. You throw one, wait 2, throw another one, because that way then they pop one after another.
That is what that was supposed to look like, by the way. The first time I had a little bit of an issue, because I'm used to PC timing now.
Yeah.
So when do you release the first-person view button?
Right when you're facing the wall.
Okay, and that'll just... Because I've really struggled with that glitch.
That timing is weird. It took me a while. One way you can practice it without in a neutral environment that's not Tengu 1 is when Arsenal sequence activates, you can actually clip back into certain areas of Shell 1 doing that glitch. So that's just the way you do it. As soon as you hit Strat E, go upstairs and on the ED connection bridge.
Yeah.
Just press up to that door and you can do the same thing. Main thing is as you're about to kick, then let go, like as you kick starting, because it just pushes your hitbox back just a little bit.
Okay.
On Sons of Liberty, you can do it with just punches. Your hitbox is so weird and the load zone placement is so weird on there. 2 punches is enough to knock you back, and you don't even need to exit first person. Just press up against it, 2 punches, and you're done.
That is actually interesting information. I never would have thought.
Tyler figured that out, and I looked into it, and it's just funky hitbox placement. Raiden's hitbox juts out a little bit too much, and because of the low res textures, the load zone pokes out a little bit too much, which was then fixed in Substance by them pushing the load zones back a little bit. Again, back in the series, that they did a really half-assed job of patching glitches.
So, I sword these guys. You can use any number of methods, whatever you like. Some people stand in the center and just spin with the Stinger missile launcher.
Yeah.
Some people just like to let Snake do all the work. Me personally, I just enjoy swording fools.
I mean, it's a time section anyways, may as well have some fun.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can really speed it up, apart from obviously if you do that. Cool.
It's weird.
You can speed it up. Every time you see the fission mailed screen, that's roughly a third of the Tengu's done.
Yeah.
So you can kind of speed it up. You can also kind of speed it down if you were unfortunate.
Creating the perfect
assassin to retire. Solid
Snake's brother. Because it's the HD collection, that seems a lot faster.
S3 stands for.
It might be. I just, Snake was taking out a lot of guards, and I was cleaning up what I needed to. It goes faster if you don't stun them because the bodies disappear faster, which means more spawn quicker. I personally prefer to stun them for whatever reason. I don't know. It's weird.
Shaped by VR regimen. Sound like someone you know, Jack? I'm sorry to see you reduced to one of the Patriots.
I like that you can be in the pause menu in this bit and it will still advance.
Oh yes, this is absolutely unaffected by being in any menus except for pausing, straight up pausing.
Get that great Raven crotch
Patriots
shot.
were among my ranks. I had to smoke out the agent before the mission entered the final phase. You came in handy.
Them buns.
Bait.
My favourite one with that is equipping the box and then holding the menu open. If you do it at the right time, Raiden's just sitting there with no box on. Great.
Oh my god, I haven't seen that.
That's so good.
You ran from it, and now you've been led back.
I can't get the timing on that. Oh well.
Something less than real.
Another one is spamming, equipping, and equipping the box all facing to the left. That just looks hilarious.
All right, so raise. For the first bit, it's center, right, left. Every single time, center, right, left. Follow the invincibility frames on the raise. You won't go wrong. After this first phase, it gets a little bit more hairy, but it's still very, very simple. When this ray starts spitting water at you, that's when you know, aim to the right, and then start getting the hell out of here. You'll spit water again, hit him in the face, aim back at this guy, and kill him immediately. Which makes the guy on the left, assuming you don't get missiles out of nowhere like I just did, he'll jump up on the platform and you can deal with him. And that also starts the spawn timer for the next two rays that'll come up from the right side here.
Now, if you just shoot him outright in the head, then the second headshot you get if you hit him in the leg, right?
If their mouth is closed, it does less damage than if their mouth is
It does about half as much damage if their mouth's closed. It's still a way, if your reactions are good and you can sense when a ray is that low, then you can just go for the close mouth shot to finish one off a bit quicker.
Yeah.
But again, that's something, as with everything in this game, comes with time. You learn as you play.
Yep. It's generally 3 open mouth shots and then a closed mouth shot that'll get you all the way there.
Yeah.
I'm not standing in the right spot. I'm not getting ammo.
It seems like a bit of a juggling act.
Oh, it definitely
Yeah, there's
is.
a lot to do with raids. A lot to do in such a short time. Especially on PC, because you're in an environment as well where you've got no stinger lag to help you out with timing, etc.
Well,
it can just be a handful.
In fact, I actually find it easier to do raids on PC.
I find it easier as well. I was on about that. I actually put it in when I did my first run on PS2. And my Harrier's bad anyway, but it just went horribly wrong because I didn't know how to deal with stinger lag. I think I ended up hitting 1 shot out of 5.
You've run PAL PS2, right?
Yes.
What sort of time have you got on that?
Oh god, I've been doing D-Rust runs on that. I think my fastest at the minute is like, I don't even know. I think it's like a 140. But I've only run once.
So
I've only run once and it was a D-Rust.
It's worth noting that it's not a specific amount of ray kills. It is a specific amount of health bar damage that you deal to the rays.
Are you awake yet, Jack?
In normal, it's the equivalent of, I think, of a 5.
The arsenal
Normal is 7.
7.
I only know normal and EX is essentially every ray. It's like 24, 25?
25.
I had an interesting conversation with some guys over at Hackers of Liberty a few weeks ago about the premise of doing unlimited rays.
Oh, yeah?
And they were all quite confident, bear in mind, like, none of these are speedrunners. They were all quite confident of the fact that there are only 23 rays that are programmed in. And they were like, oh yeah, you can't do it because there's a set number of rays. I was like, wait, there's 23? Yeah, that's funny because on EX you kill 25. So it's just like, wait, where do we go from here? Hello?
I've been told that if you look at Snake during this section, it makes the mashing not as hard.
It does.
Is that true?
It is true.
I actually didn't know that.
Yep, that is true.
Because he sees his love and he's like, oh, Snakey boy.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
That's what this game's about. It's not a love story. It's not about the Patriots. It's a love story between Snake and Raiden.
This is a long allegory for Raiden saying, "Notice me, senpai."
Yeah.
Not 20, not 25.
Oh right, sorry.
Snake just pulls out the Magnum. Suit up. Jeez.
So there, coming up is the Solidus fight. There's a few ways to handle it. Believe it or not, on normal, the fastest way to handle it is to just knock him down, fight him normally.
Yes. Do it lethally, though. That's the main thing. The fastest way to do it on normal is to just do it lethally.
See, I always swap my blade to stun, and that I don't know why I do that. I just do. Oh my god!
Yeah. Well, I get EX probably. So used to trying to do big boss and doing it non-lethally.
So,
go on.
I'm actually going to go ahead and reset this fight really quickly. Well, actually, more to show off the loops that you can put in.
The different ways.
Like with the rockets and stuff.
Oh no, not the rocket loop. That was what I was just showing off. Is just knocking him down and fighting him more realistic than normally.
Rocket loop second phase anyway. No, it's not. I'm a moron.
So.
Few times before he starts slamming.
Yeah.
So this is the slower version of the loop. This is me waiting for him to ready back up. There is a faster version of this particular loop that involves.
I haven't seen it.
There's another loop that involves running back and forth between his bad eye and his good eye. I'm not good at that one, so I won't be showing that one off, unfortunately.
Is that the one with you double slice and then run back around?
Yes.
Thought so. I'm not good at that one either. I can't do it.
But yeah, this is much slower than just fighting him normally. Also, swapping your blade. This is gonna lose me time on this fight, but.
Which makes the fight easier in a sense, I guess.
I don't know if that does more damage. If so, if it does, it's only very slightly more. Also, a very important note: the L1 button is your friend. That's your block button. Actually, I've managed to hit the same health total on both lethal and non-lethal, so I think it's roughly the same.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, this is the basic gist of the knockdown strat. Just get far enough away for where he wants to spam missiles at you.
Usually the best way to time that is to take 2 steps and cartwheel. and then you're pretty much at the perfect range for Solidus to shoot rockets. Then you can just cartwheel straight back towards him and hit him.
I haven't seen it done with just 2 rockets coming out. Like usually, if I found if I did it too early, he starts blocking. Like
yeah.
So on second phase, when he loses the tentacles, you really just want him to elbow you all the time. If he starts using his sword, he's just being a RNG dickbag.
He's just being a douche.
But you want the people's elbow like that.
Yeah. This is the only time in your life when taking an elbow to the face is your friend.
So, if he does start using the sword, if you are fast enough, you can parry him and start swacking him that way without him going through his whole combo. But you have to be very careful, otherwise you're going to take a smack and go down.
And you're going to miss an opportunity to hit them as well. Because when you get back up, you won't have a window to hit.
Yep.
So with parrying, do you have to
remember this
tap
place?
It's just swiping as he's swiping, more or less.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember
Swiping
now.
or swiping.
Today
So yeah, that is Metal Gear Solid 2 normal.
That's it.
I hope that I've clarified at least some of your questions. I'm going to stick around. I'm going to take a quick break. I'm tired of talking for the moment, but I'm going to take a quick break. When I come back, I'll stick around and answer how if you've got any questions, please ask them. We're here. We're ready to answer them. But,
yeah.
But for right now, I'm going to go take a break, so I'll see you guys when I get back.
Found something to pass along to the future.
What?
He said all living things want their genes to live on.
Are you talking about the baby?
Yeah. The genes aren't the only thing you pass on. There are too many things that aren't written into our DNA. It's up to us to teach that to our children.
What kind of things?
About the environment, our ideas, our culture, poetry, compassion, sorrow, joy. We'll tell them everything together.
Is that a proposal?
This is for your ears only.
I stare at the stars and the sky up above and think, what am I made of? Am I full of sorrow? Am I hurt and pain? Or am I filled with love? I walk by myself on the streets below and ask every child I know, do you think tomorrow will bring sun or rain? Which one of these will show? I can't say goodbye to yesterday, my friend. I keep holding on till the end. Out of the darkness, there is no other way than the light leading to yesterday. It's there that I'll find inner peace, not war, and dreams that I let slip away. I'll find the joyfulness I'm looking for way back in yesterday. the sounds of laughter, a warm hug, a smile, a kiss from you to me. I fall to my knees, I cry and I cry. Love, do not pass me by. Happy ever after, please stay for a while. Make time refuse.
To your question, Toma, to get good practice and watch a lot of runs. And read many guides on speedrun.com. There's a lot of good guides on there. Like Pytho's guide is really fucking extensive. I don't know if Tyler's put his guide up or not yet, but there's some really good runs to watch. Like the one I watched to start getting into it was Jago King's run at GDQ.
Yeah, same here.
That was the one I watched, and then I watched.
Extreme.
Yeah, then I watched Azu and Hikari's runs. For normal, watch Hikari's runs. Hikari's runs was when speedrun in this game was really early days as well, and it just shows how much of an emphasis there is on good movement in this game.
Yeah. So a story here. I mentioned earlier, I've been speedrunning the game for about a decade now, not consecutively, but I think it was early 2016 where I finally started, learning how to do normal, because before then I'd only ever done very easy, and I started learning normal very early 2016, and back then on the boards, I actually don't know if his videos, his submission's not still up, but there was a guy, Zelu X had the top time at 137 or so.
Yeah.
That, or like a 136 or something. But that was the point where I started getting into it. That was before Hikari, that was before, all of the guys who are there now,
Yeah.
That was really early, so I've been here since basically the beginning of when normal started to explode.
Yeah. Kaz, I would agree with that statement, but by playing the game, you're not going to know some of the more advanced tricks, like ladder glitch. You're not going to know faster paths to take certain rooms.
Yeah.
Like, pump room bomb from behind. That's something you can figure out on your own. But if you didn't know about it, how are you going to figure it out?
If I hadn't watched Pythonicus's tutorial, I would still be fucking weeks and weeks behind, I think, to be honest.
It's very easy to pick up bad habits trying to teach yourself.
Exactly.
As Tom, I think, but I think he's been answered. I did rather well just doing it by myself. I mean, I watch the guides and I'm fast with myself. I mean, there's lots of things you can learn just by watching other people. You shouldn't have to.
Yeah, I mean,
it's speedrunning is a collaborative effort. It's not just you and against everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in this community, from what I've seen, people want to help each other and build up other people's strats, and then you can evolve and create your own strats that way.
Look at it this way. When I started, there was nothing. Flat out, there was nothing. When I started, there was a few runs on speedrun.com. I watched those. I kind of got the feel for it. Then I went to European Extreme for a time. Once I got like a 135 or something, I went to European Extreme. I started learning that, and then I brought my experiences from that back to normal, and that's basically where the route is now. I know Azu's been working on a lot of things behind the scenes. He's not ready to show them off yet. I don't know if he ever will be, honestly, but right now
the thing is with Azu, sorry for thinking, just want to get it out there while we're still on the subject. Thing is with Azu, he likes to get his strats down extremely consistently before he likes to show them off, because that way then any questions people have about it. One, it makes it easier to show others, and two, any questions he can answer quite easily.
I mean, Thomas, like a casual run is not much different. Like a speed run is just a casual run, but you're faster.
A casual run will probably help you to get basic movement and mechanics down, though. I would recommend it personally, but it's personal preference.
I tried to do a casual run, speed running it, but after speed running Metal Gear Solid 1, like I just was too excited to start learning the rules, to be honest. But I did a semi-casual run where I skipped the cutscenes, but I was watching Pythonicus's video like as I was going through it.
Yeah.
So I was just doing it slowly, but piece by piece, each section like that.
Yeah.
And answer your other question, Thomas. The only reason that the American version of Sons of Liberty is different to the PAL or Japan version is because it was the first version to be released, whereas the HD collection is literally just ports of Substance.
It is Substance ported over.
You know, so they're the exact same. The only real difference is the arguable small bit of time you save on codec screens on the Japanese version, which no one has actually tested before. Nobody really wants
Tyler.
The codecs are 100. If I had the resources, I'd do it, but codecs are 100% slower on HD collection. It takes so much longer to load up.
No, I mean like there's less codec screens apparently on the Japanese version.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Well,
Tyler's counted them out. I don't know if he's timed it out completely, but
I don't think he has finished counting them. I think he's started, but I don't.
Tom, I don't think you could. I honestly
run this game on D-pad.
I think
End of
if
story.
you played this game, you wouldn't want to use the D-pad.
No, oh god, no.
You can't. It's impossible.
But yeah, I think you just enjoy the movement.
D-pad is faster in certain uses. Like again, ladder glitch, it's much preferred.
For sure, obviously,
much preferred, and it's personal preference with swim glitch. I prefer to spam D-pad.
I always use it for the swim glitch. Yeah.
And again, we know Python prefers to use analog stick.
Yeah.
Like
preference.
Don't try and play this game with D-pad. It's just
not completely.
No, like occasionally use it, but don't just.
You can use it for certain if you like going in straight line.
Yeah, but like it's even like I said, Palmer, when you during your race with plywood, even your insistence on just using D-pad at MGS1 is holding you back to some extent because you can't use
limited movement.
I don't know.
Your movement is so much more fluid on MGS1.
Look at the times Trombone was pulling just using D-pad though.
He uses analog.
No.
Oh yes.
When he got 130 menu, he was using a keyboard.
Yes, but he has started using a controller and an analog.
Oh, he has now, yeah. Because he knows this.
Tramoncino as well. He's fucking unbelievable. Like you are faster on an analog stick. Bottom line, like the Nikita hallway on MGS1.
Yeah,
you can use a better line with the analog than you can with the D-pad. Like the D-pad's movement, remember, is only 8-way, and there's no way that 8-way movement is faster than 360. That doesn't work.
But I mean, I think D-pad's easier.
D-pad is definitely useful. Like, it's not to discount its use. Like, no, just don't touch D-pad. It's not even there. Like, I personally prefer to use D-pad for menus as opposed to the analogs.
Yeah,
like,
same.
Oh yes, absolutely.
But for movement, for your 90% of your movement wants to be analog.
90% of your movement in MGS2 is in between angles. Times I would recommend using D-pad in normal play though is tanker going to the lower deck. And for that first hallway, just hold up on the D-pad.
Yeah.
And then again in hold 2, because it's faster movement, to just hold right on the D-pad, then tap down to line you up perfectly with the projector. It's not totally useless, and it does have uses aside from performing glitches. It is better for precise movements in certain areas.
It's there for a reason, but it's definitely you're definitely going to be at this.
It's limited use, 100%. I'm not discounting that. It's limited use, but in its limited use, it is extremely useful.
I appreciate that Tom would much prefer to use D-pad.
It's all personal preference.
I find like analog really hard to make good lines in MGS1. but I think obviously you're always going to get a better line.
Yeah, you just get better movement. Like, it's a matter of fact, if Toma spent the next 6 months learning this game and he decided he wanted to race me with D-pad, I'd beat him just because I'm using analog movement. Just because I get better movement. I don't know why I find it uncomfortable. It's because you're not used to it, I presume. Like,
yeah.
Like, you surely play PS4 games and stuff and you have to use analog. You can't. The PS4 D-pad is like, it's just there for show more than anything.
Yeah. And Crash Bandicoot.
You're more of a, I think, like, from watching your streams and what have you, you're more of a classical gamer as well, so you kind of play older games that kind of relied heavily on the D-pad. But if you're playing 3D games and you're just using the D-pad, you're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Take everything you've ever believed in and throw it out the window.
Yeah,
it's wrong.
Look, they didn't make analog just for the fun of it. Because it's just a superior method of movement, bar some limited exception.
Unless you're using the PSP, then the D-pad's better.
Like, for example, like, if you're during the sniping section, the sniper rifle moves slower with the D-pad.
Yes, it actually does. It actually does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, like, you play MGS1 with just D-pad. If you're using the sniper wolf fights with D-pad, then, like, why?
That's what I used to do, and it was bad.
You can definitely get. Does he actually use D-pad on PS4? God help him. God,
wait, you can't, can you? Because of there's hotkeys on the analog sticks, on the D-pad. Sorry.
Maybe not on PS4. I don't know.
No, it is in general. Like, your kill streaks and shit go on D-pad up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're used to Game Boy and SNES games, of course you get used to the D-pad.
Yeah.
But, like, just stop using it so much. It's not difficult. Making it like it's a big thing. It's really not. It's just you put your finger on the stick as opposed to the D-pad. Get yourself a shot collar, and every time you touch the D-pad.
Oh.
No, you just want to hook a fucking car battery up to the D-pad and place contact points. Every time you touch the D-pad, you get a lethal shock.
Lethal.
It's a car battery.
Where you play your games and if you see yourself reaching for the D-pad, just slap the cat. Python, you're being summoned.
Python, yes, what? What would you like to know, Tama?
We just have to wait for the delay now.
The worst part about HD Collection is no skateboarding. Feels bad, man.
Oh, it's true.
I know there's some bullshit.
Do tanker for you? Sure. Let me make sure my options are set really quick.
Hey,
he has to do it himself.
Here's a question. When you're using your aiming, you use the left bumper to line up the shot, or is that lazy?
Sometimes.
That's
yeah.
It's really quick headshots if you can manage to auto aim and then just quickly flick up on the left stick or up
I
on
love
the
those
D-pad.
headshots. They just look so swag.
Wait, they have to
Watching
be
this now, I want
stationary to do that, right?
But I don't. Yeah, because like on European Extreme, you do that damage boost bullshit strat in the like in the first area you go into. I don't like that. I rather just like quickly shoot them in the head because I think it looks nicer. Looks better.
All right, just give me a sec.
One thing
Toma,
as
for the love of God, Toma, please learn to play without a radar. Thank you.
Well, one thing as well on oh fuck. Oh, sorry. One thing on the first garden tanker. If you are fast enough, you can actually, at the top of the stairs, shoot him and then roll into him to instantly knock him out. Or roll straight into him, which gives you enough time to open the door and go through it.
All right.
It saves like a second.
If you're having trouble with hole number 2, I also had trouble with him. It's like essentially movement. But I found great success with instead of swapping weapons, just have the M9 and just hold up and shoot, and then hold up and shoot, because it just is easier, I find. So maybe try that. the safest way to do it, or like it's not really safe, it can kind of go straight, is just roll into the first guy, and he'll knock them all down, so you can just run ahead.
that strat is slightly RNG, but the best way to do it, really, Domino Strat, is is to line up straight with the first guard, roll into him, and then as soon as you're able to, roll left, like diagonally left, and then that puts you just in time to get across.
The best way to do Domino Strat is to not do it at all.
Hey, come on, I only do Domino Strat. Because I can't do any others.
I'm trying
and
to do
swag points.
European Extreme Tanker.
The question is, Pytho, are you going to show off Scout's spastastic distraction shot patent pending?
Hold on.
Like, it's kind of just like there's different ways to handle holding them. Roy might have, because you see, if you're not fast enough, he'll turn around on you. But if Roy might have had that happen, and then you have to shoot him in the head. But like, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Just
hold on. I gotta.
It, like.
My fucking controller is acting up.
Don't blame your controller. Do you have a working controller?
This is the same. To buy a new one. This is the same controller. It's. I bashed it into pieces, I think, because I was getting annoyed at it.
No, like, I mean, is this the one you use on PC as well?
Yes, that's why I bashed it into pieces.
On PC.
Yeah, I use SCP server.
Oh, same. I find that actually a DS4 is smoother on the PC than the DS3.
Mm.
I feel like I'm chugging along on PC with a DS3. It's like the frame rate dies just because it's a DS3.
I don't know about that, but you know.
The fucking DS2 is the worst controller. They have the reliability of glass. They die ridiculously easy. Don't give me that bullshit.
DS2 is the best controller ever made. What are you talking about?
They die fucking ridiculously easy.
You're just using them wrong.
My DS2 sits on top of my PS2. I had one. It sat on top of my PS2 for like fucking 3 months. It was working fine when I left. It picked it back up. The analog stick was totally dead.
Well, that's because you left it there. You just left it there.
Dust kills them, man.
You didn't feed it. You didn't water it.
Water it. Stick it in a pot.
Didn't oil it. If you don't put oil on your controller, it's gonna die.
Toma, I believe he's just doing tanker. I don't know.
Yeah,
Your girlfriend says she's gonna have to check the Brawl about what you've done to that PS2 just to see if there's any saving your soul.
Yeah,
it doesn't look good.
I recently dug my PS2 out just for testing.
Oh, so you buried your PS2 as well? Oh my god. Just gets better.
My PS3 is long gone. I killed Alien vs Predator killed my PS3.
My god.
Olga actually one-shots you on European Extreme.
Yes.
This is true.
Whoa!
Oh, you're trying to do European Extreme apples for fuck's sake, like, learn normal first.
I've learned normal.
Dude, yeah, what is up with you? Can't stay focused on anything, can you?
No.
Because, I mean, you were doing, like, when I raced you, everyone